Pop in, guys. We're live. I'm going to do a live stream here before I have dinner because Wendy was saying, I made some really good soup. And Wendy contributed to that soup as well. So we got a good vegetable chicken soup going right now. And it won't be ready for about an hour. So I got an hour to kill here. And it's still beautiful out. We got a beautiful day here on the Gulf Islands in the North Pacific. It's about 2 degrees, 41, 42 degrees out there. And a nice, it's clear sky right now. So apparently the cool air is coming in tomorrow night. And then things are going to change. Things are going to get cold. Got some dry, cold Arctic air coming down from Alaska. Hope your gardens are doing okay. I think a lot of North America is going to get blasted with the cold, exception for probably Arizona, California, maybe southern Texas, maybe Florida. And I don't know about the Carolinas, but I know the Midwest and stuff and the northern plains and all that stuff are going to get freaking hammered with what they call a polar vortex. It's just cold weather. That's all it is. They have to make these fancy schmancy names up. Heat dome, polar vortex, just a cold snap. That's all it is. And our cold comes from Alaska. So Alaska to the north of our Gulf Islands, far north. And you get that cold air infiltrating Alaska, the Gulf of Alaska from Siberia. And she opens her doors up and the jet stream pulls it right down the coast. And eventually it makes its way over our Gulf Islands, cold, dry Arctic air, and a high pressure system, which usually means could translate into snow or just clear cold conditions. If you're out in the Fraser Valley, southeast of Vancouver, you're going to get Arctic outflow, which really sucks. Because I used to live out there, and that's why I moved here, because we do not get Arctic outflow winds where we are here on Salt Spring Island, thank God. That's what freeze dries exotic plants is cold, dry Arctic outflow winds, man. And they pound for days on end, 40 to 60K winds, 50K winds. So 40 mile an hour winds blowing from the eastern outflow from the valley. And you get, minus 10, minus 12 degrees Celsius. So 10 degrees Fahrenheit with 50K winds or 30, 40 mile an hour winds. It does a lot of DLEs, broadleaf evergreens, right? Anyway, guys, stay warm out there wherever you are. And survival of the fittest in our garden. And all we can do is hope that everything does well. No need to get into a panic over it because it does happen. We're not in a tropical climate. We are in the north, and every so often we do get a cold blast, even in an El Nino winter. BH, how's it going? Yeah, even in an El Nino winter, we can get a cold snap. I've seen it before. I've been gardening with exotic plants since day one, since I started gardening, which was a long time ago, over 4 decades ago. And I've seen it, like I say, many, many times. I remember the worst. Early freezes and late freezes are the worst. Let me shut this down. Early freezes and late freezes are the worst for the exotic plants because a lot of the plants are still actively growing. And we haven't had any frost here yet. We've had 0 frost here where we are on Salt Spring Island. At this end of the island, there's other areas that have had lots of frost, like where I work. But you can see from my video I uploaded today of the bananas just down the road from us, they are still flawless. But tomorrow night, they will probably not look the same. They're going to get zapped from the cold and the frost. And we'll see how cold it gets. Stay tuned. I will keep you updated, and I'll show you how low we go. I'm looking at a weather station right out there right now, and then we have one about 200, 250 feet away, downslope, where it gets a little cooler. So anyway, I'm hoping for nothing below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. But if it does go below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, there's really nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? And these palms we have seen it before. So it's no big deal, no biggie, right? And hoping your temperatures won't go so low where you guys are. I talk to a lot of people on my radio every day, and I do get weather reports from all over the place. And a lot of people are getting some pretty cold temperatures right now. And, what can you do? It's winter, right? Not much you can do. Just sit back in a nice warm building like this and look out at the crappy weather. So if we do get some snow, it's going to be that much cozier in my little radio room here. My 8x8 radio room is going to be that much warmer. 13 next Tuesday. Wow. So that's just below -10. I think that's just below -10 degrees Celsius. Yes, I've never recorded 13 degrees Fahrenheit here. The coldest I've recorded here is around 18 or 17.9 or something like that Fahrenheit. But it was short lived. Usually the freezes here are pretty short. And I mean, I've seen them last a week, which is still short lived compared to the rest of Canada, right? So sometimes they're a few days, sometimes they're a week. And then we got to melt that snow if we get a dumping of snow. Often we do get the snow because what happens, that cold, dry Alaska Arctic air, it will mix with our warmer, moist Pacific air here, and that just translates into snow, right? So see what happens. Fingers crossed. No use in really freaking out about it. I know some people freaking out. Hey, barefooted gardener, cold is coming. The cold is coming. I'm waiting for my soup to finish cooking. It would have been done, but Wendy threw some brown rice in there. I had some wild rice mixed with some white rice, and it was just about done. But Wendy ended up throwing some more stuff in there. She threw some brown rice, maybe some more vegetables, and so it's a chicken rice soup we're making, and it does have potatoes, leeks, carrots, broccoli. What else is in there? And chicken, right? So it's going to be good. She put some herbs in there too. She put a bunch of herbs, so it is going to be yummy and not too salty. Don't want too much salt. Too much sodium's no good for you. 11 and 10 coming up. Wow, that's cold. 11 and 10, so that's -12 degrees. Yes, that I've never ever recorded in this area. It'll be good. You know what? I like soup on a winter day. Not so much in summer or warm days in the spring, but I do like a nice hot bowl of soup in winter. We got the wood stove going in the house. It's super cozy. It's probably 75 degrees in there. In here, I don't have any heat on, and it's 58 degrees. I don't have any heat on in here right now. I did have heat on earlier, but I turned it off a while ago. I just have a light bulb heating this place right now, a 40 or 50 watt light bulb, whatever it is, and it's nice in here. Really, really nice. Yeah, I'm hungry, but Wendy says no. Got to wait till at least an hour before that soup is ready. I was ready to chow down on it, but it's not good chowing on crunchy rice, right? Anyway, yeah, if you guys are exotic gardeners out there, I hope your plants do well in this deep freeze. And it doesn't mean it's the last deep freeze of the season. It's still early. It's only early January, and we could still get another deep freeze in February or even in early March. It can happen, and I've seen it happen. But generally, when you're later in the season, the deep freezes aren't as bad. The minimum temperatures aren't as bad. But at this time of the year, in early February even, you can get some pretty low temperatures. And that can be detrimental to some plants if they're actively growing. Maybe not necessarily kill them, but it can definitely cause damage. And you know what really pisses me off is our loquats in bloom right now. We have a beautiful loquat tree. And I was hoping, okay, El Nino year, this is going to be the year where we're going to get a lot of fruit in the spring or summer, whatever. And the buds won't freeze off, but at about -3 degrees Celsius, you can pretty much kiss those loquat flowers goodbye. And according to Environment Canada 7-day Southern Gulf Island forecast, it's going to get cold enough to freeze those buds off. So it looks cold. I'm seeing, okay, so here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Thursday night -10, Friday night -10, Saturday -7, then -8, then -6. Daytime temperature is -5, -3, 0, 0, 2. So sunshine. I see sun, but I do see snow tomorrow and degrees Celsius. And when I see -10, when I say -10, it's -10 degrees Celsius. But that's the worst case scenario. They always want to give you the absolute minimum, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen here. That's probably going to happen in colder areas on the Southern Gulf Islands. And what you have to remember, this island is mountainous from north to south and lots of hills and deep valleys. So the cold valleys and up on those mountains are going to be cold. Hey, what's going on? I missed you out there. I did a couple of live streams today, live gates. And yeah, of course, I went over an hour on one. I don't know how long I did on the other one, but then, of course, the Wi-Fi crapped out. But made a lot of contacts, lots of contacts. I think the furthest one was Jamaica. Yesterday, I made Medellin, Colombia, Mr. 390 down in Medellin, Colombia. And I've talked to him before. He's an American dude that lives in Colombia, South America. And he just comes booming in on channel 39 like nobody's business. So yeah, it was a good day at DX today. I did work a lot of stations, and I can't neglect my Banana JSSI channel. I actually do have to give it I have to put a podcast on here often because I do have friends out there that like to grow exotic plants. So it's looking pretty nice out here. It's still light. Here's what it's looking like here, Chris. You can see out there, and around 41, 42 degrees out under clear sky, and it is calm. It is very calm out there. There's no wind. There's no cold yet, but it's coming. It's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it's going to be a whole different ball game. So, and actually, I do kind of look forward in a way, as much as I hate cold, because it makes for good YouTube videos, especially exotic plant growers. They like to see palm trees with snow on them, right? So we're going to get snowy palm videos. If we get snow, I will get some snowy palm videos. I prefer the snow to be dry and powdery, so I'm actually hoping it gets really cold and then the snow is dry and powdery, because often our snow is really wet and sticky because our temperatures get just below 32 degrees, the cold snaps, and it's really wet, sticky snow, and it bends everything. But if it's dry, powdery snow, it will fall off the plants, which is good, and it's not going to damage any of the plants. Like, doesn't kill them, but it bends things, right? The wet, heavy snow. But the powdery snow is good. That's the good snow. And I know people in colder climates, they get that dry, powdery snow. It's easier to drive in too. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow at 10:15. Had some snow, and it was wet snow. So you had wet snow. Yeah. Well, generally wet snow means it's milder, the temperatures, right? You're not as cold when you have wet snow. If you have dry, powdery snow, generally it's colder out. But if we get temperatures down to minus 5 degrees Celsius, so we get down into the mid 20s Fahrenheit, it's going to be dry, powdery snow. But if it's in the upper 20s, it's going to be that wet, crappy, sticky snow like Gorilla Glue, sticks to everything in sight and bends everything out of shape, which is really annoying because the garden looks absolutely awesome right now. And, Fatsias don't like it. Sometimes you lose the odd branch. Palm trees don't mind. Palm trees can handle the wet snow. They actually kind of bounce back. But I know our California holly, we have a big Heteromeles arbustifolia tree in the front garden. It loses some branches. Magnolias have been pretty good lately. They haven't lost anything the last few years. Our grandifloras, our southern magnolias. So anyway, thanks for tuning in the live Palmcast, we'll call it. Palmcast, that's what it is. Podcast, Palmcast. Supposed to get 10 inches to 11 inches of snow Friday, followed by frigid temperatures. Yeah. Well, stay warm, buddy. You had wet snow, BH. Yeah. Yeah. And I think your temperatures get a lot colder than here. Like frigid temperatures for us are down in the lower 20s. That's really cold for here. 20 degrees Fahrenheit is really cold. Down below 20 is downright frigid if it gets just down below 20. And I haven't recorded too much down below 20. It's pretty rare that we dip below 20. But hey, this could be it. This could be a really nasty batch of cold Alaska air because she decided to open her doors up. We wish Alaska would keep her doors closed, but that's just the way it is. You know what? Sometimes she likes to open up and share some of her cold air with us people down here in the Southern Gulf Islands. I think your cold air, Indiana, Chris, comes from the prairies. It's coming from probably Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, maybe Ontario. It probably just flows right down out of the prairies. And, there's nothing to stop it. If it's really frigid where you are, then it's going to be frigid south, and it can even freeze in Texas. There's nothing to stop that cold air from going down. So we don't get any cold prairie air here because we have a wall that separates us. We have the Rocky Mountains, and we also have the coast mountain range. So none of that cold air comes over the Rockies. Our cold air comes down from Alaska. So if Alaska wasn't there and we had a mountain range to prevent that, we wouldn't get any cold. We wouldn't get any cold weather from those guys. It'd probably be nice and palmy and balmy here all the time. But we don't have a wall, so we just got to put up with it. Every so often, it's just a friendly reminder that we don't live in a tropical climate. We live in a cold climate, a cold temperate climate that does see occasional snowfall and freezes. Canadian Clipper is what they call it. Yep, they call it. Yes. And it goes across the Great Lakes. And Canadian Clipper. And it'll go right down, like it was a few years ago, it froze right down Dallas, Texas, froze up all the palm trees. freezes in northern Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, the Carolinas. It's crazy, the cold that comes down out of Canada, right? But thank God we got a wall separating us from the rest of Canada. What we get, we can go down even into Northern California. Believe it or not, it'll freeze in Northern California. It comes right down out of Alaska. And that's exactly the cold we get here on the Southern Gulf Islands. So what we get, Seattle will get, and Oregon will get. And if it's a really bad freeze, Northern California will get it too. So hopefully not. It's not good for their gardens. It's not good for their plants. But like I say, not much you can do about it. Bitching about it ain't going to do anything about it. It's like looking at gas prices on the pump when you fill up. It's like, you know what? Bitching about it ain't going to make them go down. So we just have to put up with it and weather the storm and enjoy each day. You know what I mean? I'm happy I woke up on this side of the ground. It does suck that I have to wear this stupid thing again. I call you warm temperate, like, Portland. Yeah, we're actually a Mediterranean climate here on Salt Spring, the Gulf Islands. They call it a Mediterranean-like climate. But temperate, I think we're more the same as Portland and more like the San Juans, too. We are going to get -9 in England, mate. Whoa. See, that's pretty cold, but depends where in England, right? Hopefully not down on the south coast of England. Hopefully not down on the Scilly Isles or Cornwall or Penzance or St. Michael or Michael's Mount, whatever they call it, lands. And that would cause a lot of damage to the palms and tropical plants down there. Northwest Cheshire. Okay, so you're inland then, right? You're inland, right? I'm guessing you're inland. You're not down on the coast. My daughter lived in Taunton. She lived in Taunton near Devon, and then she moved to South Cornwall. Yeah. So inland like Northumberland and places like that can get colder. But if you get down onto the coast like Cornwall, Torquay, Lizard, Land's End, those places, and of course the Scilly Isles and stuff, they don't really get that cold. But every so often, they can still get cold. They're lucky because they got that Gulf Stream right there. Like coastal Ireland and Scotland, they have that Gulf Stream current right there to keep them regulated year round. I mean, you should see the palm trees that grow in Scotland. See the palm trees that grow in Ireland. The climate in coastal Ireland is unbelievable. Like they rarely even get frost in Ireland if you go down to County Cork. 11, yeah, I would. It'll be killed. 2 days of -11 degrees Fahrenheit. It would kill a cordyline here. It'll kill it down to the ground. They're done at 18 degrees. Ours got killed down. When was it? Last year, the year before, we got down to around 18 degrees Fahrenheit and it killed our cordylines. People say, oh, yeah, Joe, cordylines are hardier than 18 degrees. Bullshit. They're not. I know that for a fact. I've been growing cordylines for a long time. I've grown thousands of them from seed, and ours freeze down at about 18 degrees Fahrenheit here. But they will come back. Cordyline australis is root hardy. They got a tap root, and they'll bounce back. Cordyline Indivisia is less hardy and probably still bounce back from the roots. But Cordyline australis, 18 degrees, and that's the limit here, 18 degrees. You get a couple of nights of that and probably kiss them goodbye. Bigger ones are probably a little bit better, but you're still going to get some damage on them if they're trees, right? I've seen them, the tree size ones here, where it froze the top crown off. The trunk was still standing, big trunks, and then the trunks sprout out. But smaller ones that are maybe 6-7 feet tall, trunks like that, they'll freeze. They'll freeze down, but they'll come back. There were some really big ones in front of the yoga studio here, and really beautiful ones. I got lots of videos of them. And the owner there was really upset when they froze down. I says, don't worry about it, buddy. I'll clean them up for you. So I cut the trunks out. Trunks were big like this. I cut the trunks out. I says, don't worry, they're going to come back as multi-trunk cordylines. And you should see them now. They're probably about this big. They come back like gangbusters. But now with this freeze we're getting, they may freeze. They may freeze down. We'll see what happens. Don't ever dig them out if they freeze either, because they have a deep tap root on them and they will come back. So cordyline is a Dracaena, and they're a New Zealand cabbage tree, and a lot of people buy them from the nursery or grocery stores outdoors when they sell their plants as a filler plant for, say you have geraniums or petunias or whatever. You got that little spiky plant in the middle. That, if you let grow and you're in a mild enough climate like we are, it will grow into a tree, but not mild enough where it's going to continue super long term. Here in the mildest areas, I've seen them grow 20 feet tall, or at least close to 20 feet tall. And then they eventually kind of get kicked back a bit. But on the far west coast of the big island, like Vancouver Island, they have been in the ground for decades, and they are huge cordyline trees because it just never gets cold enough there. I see the low temperature over there is going to be about -5 degrees Celsius. So that's in the 20s, right? But here, inner south coast, down on the southern Gulf Islands, going to get a little colder than that. That's just the way she goes, and that's just the way she grows, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens after this is all said and done. And you really can't determine damage on plants until the freeze is long past. It's got to be long after the freeze. I see people posting pictures during the freeze or a day after the freeze. Oh, my palm tree looks good, or this looks good. It doesn't look, you don't know if it looks good or not because it's still freaking frozen and thawing out. Give it a few weeks. Wait till 3 weeks or a month after the freeze, and then start posting your pictures of your plants that you think look good after the freeze. So I see people, in Ohio and this and that, going out posting pictures of their plants during a freeze or the day after the freeze, and it's still frozen. Their plant's still frozen. You can't say your plant still looks good during a freeze if it's frozen solid and it's like 15 below zero. You know what I mean? Give it some time to thaw out, and then have a really good look at it, and then the damage will really start to show up. And I know that from experience because I've had a lot of palm trees frozen and damaged at my last location. Not here, but at my last location, and that's why I moved here years ago. Been here a long time at this location, over 3 decades now at this location. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed, and I will always shoot videos of what goes on here on this island. When you see a deep freeze, when I see a deep freeze, I'll make sure to shoot a video so you can see what it looks like here and how cold it gets, right? Anyway, pop in and say hi. Don't be shy. I'm just looking at some YouTube stuff. Let's just hope it doesn't get as bad as they say. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I say, they post extremes. Let my cordy lines die back and then protect. Yeah. So they will in zone 7A. Yeah. Cordy lines are a zone 8B height, a long term, kind of like 8B, 9A plant. I don't know them. I don't know of them long term in 7A. I really don't. That's the truth. They're a high end of zone 8B and 9A plant, more long term 9A. When I say long term here, I've had them in the ground go for like 10, 11 years looking really good, and then they freeze down, right? So they're not even really super long term here. If you want long term, go to the Oregon coast or the west coast of Vancouver Island, and you will see long term cordy lines, right? Check out my videos of long term cordy lines, big ones that are actually trees on the west coast of Vancouver Island. They're absolutely amazing. Where is my line? There it is. Okay. I let my cordy lines die back and then I protect. Yeah, there you go. That's okay, man. At least you know what you're doing anyway. It's like Trachycarpus fortunae palms. This is the only place in all of Canada that they're actually long term without winter protection. Okay, I wrap it in burlap, maybe a zip tie. Yeah, you can even put some bubble wrap around the burlap to keep the burlap dry. Because if the burlap gets wet, then it's still going to freeze solid. So if it's dry, put some burlap around it, and then put some plastic around the burlap. Try not to let plastic touch the foliage of plants because it's actually more detrimental to the plant, right? It causes more damage, tissue damage when there's frost, when it freezes. So, so I was going to say the only place in all of Canada where palm trees are long-term is here along the Pacific coast of Canada, nearest to the ocean. Anywhere else in Canada, if you're going to grow a palm tree east of the coast of British Columbia, you will have to build a box around it or wrap it up and put heat with it. It will never, ever survive on its own long term, and that's a fact. I don't care what you say, or what people say, they will not survive long term. Prove me wrong. We had that guy in Nova Scotia that says he grows palms in Nova Scotia long term without winter protection. Well, I know that's absolute bull crap. And anybody that grows palms and knows about palms knows that's bull crap. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that grow them in Ontario, and there's some nice ones growing in southern Ontario and stuff, but they do box them in and they do put heat with them, or they put heat cables and thermal cubes with them. They tried some out in Halifax. They boxed them in and they still froze and died. So here along the coast, Trachycarpus, I would say, are pretty much foolproof. They're a foolproof palm. Camarops here on the islands are a pretty good palm. There's some long-term ones here on Salt Spring Island, Victoria, and along our coast. And Camadoria radicalis I've had in the ground for 27 years now, and it's still going. Sable palms, there's certain sables that are hard here too. Nova Scotia's, I think 6B. I think 6B, if you go down onto the coast, 6B, 7, maybe closer to 7. If you went down to go to Cape Sable or Clark's Harbor, Nova Scotia, or Sable Island. Sable Island would be more like a 7B, 8A, probably 8A if you went to Sable Island. But 6B, is it 6B? 6B. All right, Sable Island, I think, is probably 7B, 8A. Because I'm looking at the all-time minimum there, and it's around minus 19 degrees Celsius, right? So, yeah. Yeah, so the guy says he grows long-term palms in Nova Scotia. There's no possible way, man. I don't know where. Let's look at the growing zone right now. Okay, growing zones in Nova Scotia. Zone 7. The very southern tip, like I say, is Zone 7. Zone 7 it goes to in Nova Scotia. Yeah, for Trachycarpus palms, right? And the southern tip is Yarmouth, down to Cape Sable and all those places. Zone 7. I think Briar Island probably could be a 7, but it's mild back there in the winter for certain types of BLEs, but not a long-term Trachycarpus fortunae palm tree. That is a fact. Somebody proved me wrong and show me some palm trees that are growing long-term in Nova Scotia without winter protection. Then I'll eat my words. But nobody's done it yet. Not even the guy that used to come in here and BS to us and said he grew long-term palm trees in Nova Scotia without any winter protection. That's absolute crap. Absolute crap. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I just speak the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. You know what I mean? I guess needle palms could grow in unprotected. Yeah, there was a needle palm, not the arborescent palms. So a Trachycarpus fortunae is an arborescent palm, meaning tree size palm. Sable minor would probably work there, yes, and so would needle palm. And matter of fact, I did see a needle palm growing in one of the botanical gardens there near Dartmouth, and was there for years, and it might still be there. I had a guy that would post pictures in one of my groups from there, and it might still be the Rhapidophyllum hystrix. I just talked to a guy in Nova Scotia. That's sure they have. Yeah, no, he probably does. And you know what? Most people in Nova Scotia would have no idea about palm trees. They wouldn't even think about palm trees growing in Nova Scotia. It's like most Canadians probably don't realize palm trees grow on the coast here of Canada unless they visited Vancouver, because if you go to Vancouver, there is no shortage of palm trees. There are streets lined with palm trees. The suburbs have streets lined with palm trees, and I have lots of videos of them right here on this YouTube channel. I have lots of videos of Vancouver palm trees. You can actually see them. But but if you've never been to the BC coast, you would have no idea that palm trees are remotely related with Vancouver or the coast, right? I mean, go down to Tsawwassen, it's where our ferry comes in. So when I take the ferry off of our island and I want to go to the mainland, there's a town about 15 or 20 miles south of Vancouver called Tsawwassen. And it's a coastal town, and the streets there are lined with palm trees. There's palm trees everywhere there. But you drive inland a bit, like about 20, I'm going to say 20 miles inland, and it's getting kind of sketchy. It's almost getting too cold for palm trees. 20 miles, I'm going to say if you're 10K, within 10K from the ocean, 10 kilometers inland from the ocean, that's probably the limit for long-term palms. Anything after 10K, well, then it's kind of getting dicey. They either make it or they don't. It just depends how bad the freeze is, right? My buddy had some in his garden in Matsqui, Abbotsford for 25 years. And I think that last freeze, to a 2021 December freeze, took out his 25-foot tall palms. That's how cold it got out there. Anything on the coast is good. And because the Pacific Ocean regulates the air temperatures, and people don't realize that. So the nearer you live, the closer you live to the Pacific Ocean on this coast, your winter temperatures are going to be milder, but your summer temperatures are going to be cooler. So it works both ways. In the summer, kind of a little bit of like air conditioning. But in the wintertime, the heat released from the ocean moderates or regulates the air temperature. So when we had the polar bear swim here January 1st, the ocean temperature was 0.2 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that heat is released. It's like a heat bank if you live by a big body of water. So if you live down by the Great Lakes, that's a heat bank until the Great Lakes freeze. Then you're screwed. If the Great Lakes freeze, which takes a lot to freeze them, and they have frozen, then that's a bit of a problem. But temperatures, once they dip down below air temperature, then you got a bit of a problem too. But any big body of water near your garden does act as a heat bank. Also, microclimates, for you guys that want to know about microclimates. Gardening on the base of a slope is bad. If you're at the bottom of a slope, it's bad. If you're halfway up the slope, it's good, because cold air is like water and it rolls down the hill. So when I picked this spot to garden, and I picked it on purpose, we're at the top of a hill. We're at the top of a knoll here, about 140 feet above sea level. It goes down to the ocean. It goes down to the ravine. It goes down to a bit of a valley, and then it levels off here. So all the cold air, and our whole garden is on a slope. The entire garden here is on a slope. So all the cold air drains away and makes fences or hedges in the way, because cold air, as it's rolling down the slope, will pool against that fence. It'll pool against the fence. And if you have plants there, it's going to get colder in that spot. So if you had a gap between that fence, believe it or not, the cold air will keep cruising through that gap and continue on. So the next door property to me is down in the valley. And they've had lots of frost down there, man. I look down there and it's freaking white some days. We haven't had any frost up here yet. Zero freaking frost up on this knoll. But down there, it's cold, man. It's cold. And some days it's white. I'll be working down in the palm nursery, and I've got videos of it. It's like, holy crap. It's like night and day difference, and it's only like 400, probably 400 and something feet away, but down at the bottom of the hill. My palm nursery's here, and the valley's down in there like that, probably like this, and it just sits right down in that frost pocket. That's why they call it a frost pocket, right? Hopefully you're learning something here. I'm listening to some Skip in the background too, and I'm waiting for Bendy Wendy to call me on my two-way radio and say, Joe, the soup is ready. No soup for you. I want some soup, man. I'm ready for some of that chicken noodles, or not chicken rice soup. She bought a couple of chickens at Costco yesterday. Costco has awesome chickens, by the way. So you get some chickens at Costco. They're really moist and tender, the meat, and they're cheap. They're like $7.99 for a barbecued chicken. So she was over in Victoria yesterday and got some. It's high long time. Here we go. Yeah, actually, I do them every day. Believe it or not, Mr. Rubinos, I do them every day, or on my other YouTube channel. But I kind of neglect this one, so that's why I'm waiting for my dinner to be ready. And then I said I got time to kill here, and I'm doing a live stream. So thanks for joining in. But on Jungle Josie Video Gates, I pretty much do them daily. You know, sometimes I'll miss a couple of days, but it's pretty much a daily event on my other YouTube channel. That's my radio channel, though. And actually, Indiana Chris is a regular on my other YouTube channel, but he's actually on this one too. And I'm glad he's here because Chris is learning about palms. And you know what? There is a guy in Indiana, in southern Indiana, that grows needle palm in his garden, because he used to post pictures of it in one of my palm forums. If you're on Facebook, go into my group, one of my groups. I have many groups, gardening groups on Facebook. It's called People Who Love Palm Trees and Exotic Plants. If you want to learn about palm trees and exotic plants, it has now over 27,000 members in that group. I started about 5 years ago, and it's got over 27,000 members now all over the place. I'm in Colombia. I talked to Colombia yesterday. Medellin. Is it Medellin, Colombia? Let's just see. Medellin. Let's see. Where is it? Medellin, Colombia. Yeah. So I talked there on my radio the other day, and that's a good climate. It's nice and tropical. You can grow anything you want in Colombia, except probably a Douglas fir tree, right? So everything grows in Colombia. You gotta love the tropics, man. I'd love to be in a tropical climate right now. This is when I'd love to be in Hawaii. Bogota was awesome. 32 degrees Celsius. Medellin, that's it. Yeah, I talked there yesterday. You can see my video gate. The guy coming in, he came in on channel 395. I was talking to some guys in the U.S., and I've talked to the guy before. I've talked to Colombia before. I talked to Brazil yesterday too. I talked to Brazil a lot. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Then I've talked all over South America. But yeah, he came booming in, and I think what a nice place to be, Colombia, South America. My one of my cousins has a condo or apartment in Colombia because he goes down there. He's a chef and he does cooking down there. He works down there sometimes. So he's got an apartment down there in Colombia, and he really loves Colombia. So anyway, good to have you in there, my friend, and enjoy the 32 degrees Celsius. It's cooling down here. It's about, right now it's 4 degrees Celsius here, 4 degrees Celsius. So it's cooling down here on the Gulf Islands, way up here in the North Pacific, right? Off the Pacific coast of Canada. Yes, I have an American flag flying. I don't have the Canadian flag. It fell down. I'll just leave it down where it belongs. I like the looks of that American flag. I love the stars and stripes. You know what I mean? If I lived in the States, I'd be very patriotic. I'm not so patriotic up here because I don't like what's going on in Canada. So I'm not too patriotic here in Canada right now. I should be flying the flag upside down because we do have a idiot in power. But anyway, hope all is well down in Colombia. Nice place to grow bananas and tropical fruits. You can live off the land right down there in Colombia, man. Go out there and pick some nice avocados, some papayas and mangoes. That's my kind of place. That is my kind of place. I think I might go get some soup, man. I'm getting hungry. How long I've been streaming for? 4:57. I might keep it running for a bit when I go get my soup because the live stream, the Wi-Fi hasn't crapped out yet. You know, that's the thing. Usually the Wi-Fi craps out on me, and then I bother to start another one on Banana JSSI, but looks like it's holding in there at 38 minutes. I wonder if anybody can hear me out there. Huh. I'll be turning the beam towards Hawaii soon. Mr. Have you seen? Cool. The Barefooted Gardener's been to Colombia. Actually, I'm going to... Hang on. Hang on, guys. I'm just going to listen up high and see if I can hear any Colombia. Okay. I'm listening. I'm beamed towards, I got my antenna pointed towards South America, so we'll see if we can hear anything coming in from South America. We did the same in Holland with the flag. Now it's is there a cold snap? Yeah, there is a cold snap coming. Right now we're above freezing. We haven't had any frost yet. As you can see on my YouTube videos, I uploaded a video of the bananas today, but of our friends' bananas down the road. Yeah, we got a cold snap coming for the next few days, starting tomorrow night. Being there I've been there 7 years. Yeah, I can't stand the leader of our country. He's an idiot. Trudeau is a complete fool, and he's got to go, man. That guy has to go. He's the worst thing that's ever happened to Canada. Really is, man. I absolutely hate his guts. So he's got to go. He's destroying the country, or destroyed the country. Thankfully, I live on this island, which seems like a million miles away from all his crap. You know what I mean? It's just absolute nonsense what he has done to this place. He's an authoritarian dictator / tyrant, right? And if anybody likes him, well, that's your problem. Then there's something wrong with you if you like Trudeau. Anyway, I'm listening on 555, and we'll see if we can get some South American skip coming in here. Maybe I'll be able to talk to Colombia tonight or Brazil. I hear people coming in. Anyway, I haven't been back to Maui since December 2019, and I'm looking forward to going back to Maui. This May will be Wendy and I's first big holiday since the scamdemic. So we are going to Alaska. We're heading up to Alaska middle of May on an Alaska cruise, which will be nice. This will be my 4th Alaska cruise. Wendy's never been on a cruise before, so I'm actually more excited for her. I'm really excited for her to be on a cruise. I think she's really going to like it. She was kind of like, yeah, not really into it at first. But you know what? I said, and our friend goes on cruises all day. He goes on 3 or 4 a year, my buddy Foodie Phil. And so we kind of talked her into it. And she says, you know what? Now she's kind of looking forward to it. And she did get a good deal through Costco Travel. You ever go on a cruise, go through Costco Travel. They got some really good deals. And we got a 1-week cruise package from Vancouver to Skagway, Alaska. It leaves middle of May, and it stops at Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway. And on the way up, it also goes to the glacier. And that's all gratuities included. That's a $600 drink package. And how long is the cruise? It's 1 week. So $600 drink package included, all drinks included. Usually on a cruise, you got to pay for booze. $600 drink package, all gratuities. We don't have to pay any tips. That's worth $200, and $200.50 each. $100.50 each. Excursions, off cruise ship excursions. So anyway, it's 1 week. It's awesome, man. The cruises are fun because the food is great. And also, then we got another coupon to go into one of the fancier restaurants where we actually have to pay to. And so we go in there. Those are worth, I think, $30 a person. And then we get a $150 gift certificate to a gift card to Costco, which is cool. I'm on 555 upper sideband, just sandy bagging. 555 upper sideband. We're listening, man. I'm listening for South America. I don't know. I'm beamed towards South America. Yeah, I did a couple of gates today, as I said. And yeah, I did talk to some UDX. Apparently, UDX 483 South Carolina heard me. Somebody relayed the message, but I couldn't really hear him, which was unfortunate. Only got as high as 410 is a good one, too. I'm up high, Chris, just because I'm listening. I think the U.S. skip is pretty much faded out of here. It's pretty quiet on the band. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my beam towards the South Pacific. Now I'm beaming towards South Pacific. Okay. I'm now beaming towards Australia. We'll see what happens. I'm waiting for Wendy to call me. Come on, Wendy. 415 is actually a good 410 is a good channel because it's quiet there. And I've actually worked some good skip on 415 and 410. I've actually talked to Europe on that. I believe I've talked to Europe on 415 or 425. It's pretty rare that I talk to or hear Europe down anywhere between 1 to 40. But if you're down in the States, southeastern states, I know Europe comes in on those channels. I heard a guy today in Alabama calling Scotland or Germany. Maybe it was Germany, which is cool. But I had chicken and garlic toast. Oh, lucky you. That sounds good, man. I love chicken Alfredo and I love garlic toast. And that's the thing, when you go on a cruise, you can eat 24/7. It's 5-star food for 1 week, there and back, 1 week of eating. And a lot of people gain a lot of weight on the cruise. And you got to really watch it because there's a lot of, like, they have actually healthy choices on the cruise too. Like the dinners and the food and the lunches, the breakfast, everything. It's unbelievable. There's Chinese food, Japanese food, Italian food, healthy choices. And every morning I go down there and get a white egg omelet made with salmon lox in it, all the vegetables, mushrooms. Oh my God, it was good. It was so good. So I'm looking forward to that. And the gym on the boat is awesome too. They have a really good gym. It's a big gym. So I hit the gym every day for like an hour and I didn't gain any weight. But if you don't hit the gym and you eat like a piggy, like I do eat like a piggy, I love to eat. So I love cruises. See, I get my money's worth on a cruise. They probably lose money when they see me coming, say, oh no, there's that guy that eats like a pig, right? Because it's just so good. You know what I mean? You just want to eat when you see that food. It's all the best quality food. So if you ever have a chance, go on one. Some people say, I don't want to be stuck on a boat. Well, you know what? It goes to the ports of call and you get off. Like I say, Alaska is a really cool place. I've done a Caribbean cruise too. And Caribbean was fun, but I really like Alaska because I don't have to fly anywhere. We just drive over, take the ferry over, park our vehicle at our friend's place, take an Uber down to the cruise ship terminal downtown Vancouver, and there's lots of cruise ships there. That's where they all leave from to go to Alaska. And you just hop on the boat, and that's when the holiday begins. As soon as you hop on that boat, man, it's pretty awesome. See if anybody can hear me out here. CQDX South Pacific, CQ South Pacific, calling CQ South Pacific. This is UDX 791, UDX 791, Gulf Islands, North Pacific. CQDX South Pacific, calling CQDX South Pacific, 9 UDX 791 in the North Pacific. That's the thing. You don't know if somebody can hear me out there. I'm not hearing anybody. It's pretty quiet, man. Anyway, I love chicken Alfredo. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I need my soup. Anyway, we've gone 48 minutes and 20 seconds into this Palmcast, we call it. Palmcast. We talk a lot about palm trees here. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see if we can make it an hour and a bit before my telephone rings, my little Motorola. That's how I keep in touch with Bendy Wendy. Tomorrow, tune in. I will do a live stream when I get back from the doctor's. I have a doctor's appointment. I hear somebody really faint in the U.S. coming in. 2 Echo Kilo 010. Don't know where he is. 2 Echo Kilo 010. Huh. I haven't heard Europe for a while either, which is a bummer. Anyway, tomorrow, stay tuned for a video of some cold weather. So around there, do you guys have places? Yeah, we have only one place that delivers food here, and it's the pizza place. We don't have any fast food here. There's no fast food on this island, but there's a Uptown Pizza, and they deliver all over Salt Spring Island. So Uptown Pizza, but you pay through the nose. To get a pizza delivered from town, it's probably $15 to deliver it here, I bet. At least $15. It's expensive, man. So we just go pick it up because it's only probably about a 12-minute drive to town, maybe 10 to 12 minutes to drive to town. So it's not that bad. So it's easier for us to just pick it up. Yeah. And Yeah, there's lots of restaurants here. Like there's lots of really nice restaurants on Salt Spring in town. And there's even one on the very south end of the island, and even some not that far from us on the north end at Fernwood. But it's they're kind of high end. You know what I mean? It's just expensive. They had a dinner for New Year's. That a New Year's dinner there at $200 a plate, $200 a freaking plate, and it's like no, thank you. No dinner to me is worth $200 a plate. That means if Wendy and I went, it'd be 200 for her and 200 for me, and then if you had wine and then you leave a tip, I mean we're talking like a $500 freaking dinner probably, right? That is just absolutely nuts. So no, thank you. And most of the time we like to stay at home and cook. You stay at home and you can cook good food yourself. You know what I mean? I bought 3 dinners. It was 40. See, there you go. Tax and tip there. That's cheap because a pizza here, a large pizza here is $45, dude. Chris, you know what? They probably have a menu here. I could. Let's just see. Where's my? They probably have a menu. Last time we bought one, it was expensive. Okay, let's see. And the pizza's not bad, but no pizza to me is worth $45. Come on. They really jacked up the prices. Here's the I'm going to give you the link, Chris, and then you can check it out when you have time. This is the pizza place. And there is other pizza places, but this is the one in town. See, that's more like it. 3 dinners for $40 is cheap. You're what is it, $13 a dinner? Just over $13 a dinner is very cheap. You know what I mean? So you can look at their menu and you can tell me if that's expensive or not. I believe it to be very expensive. I think it's expensive. $45 for a large. When my kids came over, a couple of my kids, Ryan and Trevor and Sammy came over. It was just before Christmas. We made pizza and it was really good. Homemade pizza is absolutely awesome. So, but spend nearly $50. So it's $45 for a pizza. Then there's a tip on top of that. It's freaking ripoff. So I won't eat there anymore. Unfortunately, they've lost a customer, and it's not bad pizza. I liked it, but it's not bad pizza. Del Vecchio's pizza is really good. There's a pasta place in town. Pasta Fresca is awesome. So there's an Italian shop in town. This place is awesome. You ever come to this island, this is where you want to go. These guys, my daughter worked here for 5 years. These guys make more authentic Italian pizza because he's from Italy. He moved here from Italy about 15 years ago, 16 years ago. He opened up the shop, maybe 15 years ago. My daughter worked at this pasta place. All their pasta is made from scratch. It is so good. It's the best pasta. It's like a little hole in the wall in town. And they have really good food, really good Italian food. CQDX South Pacific, CQ South Pacific. This is 9 UDX 791. 9 UDX 791 on the in the North Pacific. Nothing. Nada. I'm listening. I got my ears open. There are some great pizza places. Hole in the walls. Yeah, they are usually the best ones. The hole in the wall places, really good. And Del Vecchio's pasta and pizza is amazing. They're great paninis. They got a good menu, man. It's like I say, it's all handmade pasta. Everything there is homemade. It's all homemade pasta. He's got actually machines, so I'll say homemade, not handmade. Homemade pasta with the machines that he got from Italy, and they use farm fresh eggs and all good ingredients in their pasta at Del Vecchio. So, if you ever make it to Salt Spring Island, you want good Italian food, go to Del Vecchio's. His name's Max Del Vecchio. Super good guy. They sell a lot of good olive oil in there too. Really good olive oil. They sell Clementi olive oil. The family name, my family name, they sell Clementi olive oil. Yeah, crazy. Prices are expensive here, man. Super expensive, Indiana, Chris. It's I can't afford to eat out anymore. That's what it boils down to. I'm retired. I'm on a pension. I do work part-time, but I'm off right now because of this. And it sucks. So you know what? When we're off island, we go to A&W. We go to A&W and have burger. Yesterday, Wendy brought me back two veggie burgers from A&W. And actually, they were really good. Really good. Probably for me, but they were really good, the veggie burgers. A&W has the best veggie burgers. Wendy likes her teen burgers, but I love the veggie burgers. And I just, because I'm watching cholesterol, right? But they're pretty good burgers. You wouldn't know they're veggie burgers. They taste like meat. And I looked at the ingredients, and they're not bad. In a veggie burger A&W, they're not bad ingredients. But yeah, you almost have to be rich to go out and eat now for dinner. You know what I mean? I remember when we were kids, mom and dad would take us out. Probably once a month we go out for dinner. And now, REW closed here. But KFC. We used to get a KFC when we were kids. Dad would get us, we'd go in there and get a bucket of chicken at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I loved a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Then you'd have their bean salad. And then you'd have some coleslaw or whatever. We'd get that. I loved going to KFC when I was a kid. And that was good chicken, man. Probably not good for me, but it sure tasted good. Really good. And we have lots of KFCs on Vancouver Island and actually on the coast, on British Columbia coast. Vancouver and surrounding suburbs, there's lots of KFCs up here. Lots of A&Ws, lots of McDonald's. We don't have Jack in the Box. We have Wendy's, Dairy Queen. What else do we have? White Spot, which is a Canadian thing. Denny's. We have Denny's. No In-N-Out. We don't have that one. We don't have Carl's Jr. And we don't have Chick-fil-A, I don't think. A&W is a burger place. A&W is awesome. Good burgers. They're actually, to me, the best fast food burgers if you ever eat fast food. A&W. A&W stands for Frank Wright. Alan and Frank. Alan and Wright. That's what A&W stands for. Alan and Wright. Alan employee Frank Wright partnered with them in 1922, and they founded their first restaurant in Sacramento, California. In 1923, the company's name was taken with the initials of their last names, Alan and Wright, A&W. Very cool. So they've been around for 100 years, actually longer, because I heard they actually started out in 1918 making root beer. 1919. A&W was from Lodi, California in 1919, pioneer in the fast food industry. And it started with Roy W. Allen opened up a roadside root beer stand. A roadside root beer stand in Lodi, California. Kiss the baby. They're not in New York. No A&W's in New York. No. R&W closed, but there's KFC. That's cool. And yeah, Mike. So cool out there today. It's about 39 degrees here. 39 degrees under clear sky on the Gulf Island. Still no frost yet. I don't know why I'm not hearing any skip. Hang on. Ouch, I banged my knee today and it hurts like hell. Anyway, hope was well out there, everybody. I'm getting hungry talking about this food. We're 59 minutes and 20 seconds into it. You love BH loves A&W. The root beer is really good. I think they have the best root beer, and I really like their burgers because their burgers are grass-fed beef with no antibiotics. So good burgers, and I find that the vegetables they put in the burgers, like lettuce, is super crunchy and fresh. The onions is really good and crunchy and crisp, and they're just good burgers. Like McDonald's, don't like them. I don't like McDonald's. I used to eat there many years ago when I was a teenager and when I was a kid. And I ate at A&W too, but A&W is just a better quality. If you want a fast food burger that tastes better, in my opinion, A&W. When I say zone 9 this winter, lower 9, like 24, the coldest, I've seen it. Oh, zone 9, okay. Yeah, see, when I say zone 9, no lower temperatures than 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what a zone 9 climate is. If your minimum temperatures don't go lower than 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you're in a zone 9 long term, right? That'd be a zone 9 winter. We haven't had anything below freezing here yet, but that's going to change, man. That is going to change. The cold air is making its way down from our friend to the north, Alaska. It's coming down. They make my own famous. Yeah, you see, you know what? Indiana Chris, homemade burgers are still the best. And you know what? When Wendy and I make our own burgers, we put you chop up bits of garlic and even chop up fine mushrooms, infuse it into that ground beef or ground bison or ground elk or ground deer. I was over at our friend's place the other day, and he's a hunter, and he gave us some nice deer meat, beautiful deer meat. He just killed them probably about a month ago, and they're vacuum sealed, so we could make some nice burgers or some nice chili. But homemade burgers are always the best. You can't beat them. There's no fast food burger that's ever going to compare to your yummy homemade burger. And that's the way it is. Try adding bacon. Yeah, I'd love. And I don't really eat a lot of burgers now. I have to go lean beef only because of my heart surgery. I got to watch the cholesterol thing. And that's why I have my arm in this, because I went into the gym twice now, and I got up this morning and my arm was all blue, like it was all bruised up, like I don't know what I did. So no, I'm not concerned at all, not even in the least bit, Mike. I've been growing these plants for 40 years, and they've all been through cold before, so it's nothing new. It's not going to get that cold here. I don't think it'll get as cold as they say. It's going to get that cold in some areas, but I know the area here. I know how cold it gets here, and I've never seen anything that cold. I doubt it. I've been here over 30 years. I'm going 31 years in this place. So never seen anything that cold here yet. I'll believe it when I see it. And if it happens, it happens. Can't do anything about it. Not concerned in the least bit. Not worried. I'll just shoot some videos. Yeah, it's not the arm. Yeah, it's the oh man, it's the bruise is going down. It's hard to see. This is all blue right there. So I shouldn't have worked out. It was my bad. I went into the gym and I started lifting weights, and I was doing lots of push-ups, and like I usually do, and I don't take it easy. That's the problem. And I was chopping wood. Well, they say there's the forecast I see down to minus 10 degrees in areas Celsius, so that's 15. I'm going to say if it's that cold in some areas, maybe 19 degrees. I'm going to go as low as 19 degrees here. We'll say that. Let's say 18.5. I'm going to say 18.5. Maybe I'm wrong. If it is colder, I will shoot a video. I'm going to shoot a video regardless, so you'll see. I don't miss a thing. I shoot videos every single day of the year. So if it snows, it rains, it hails, we get a tornado, you're going to see it on here, right? So when we get our cold snap, when it starts, I will shoot videos to update you, to show you how cold it is here at this end of the island, which doesn't mean it's going to be that cold somewhere else. It could be cold, or it could be milder, right? It's just the way it is. I went to work yesterday, and then I was ready to go to work today. And when I got up in the morning and I did push-ups, I did my crunches, and then I got into the bathroom and I started shaving. I looked in the mirror. I said, that doesn't look right when I shaving. And I could see my arm was all bruised and blue because the bruising had gone away. So I think I did when I did a workout. So now I got to go to the doctor tomorrow. He's going to check it. Oh, the banana tops will be killed. Bananas will definitely be killed to the ground, to the bubble wrap anyway at this. But they do that anyway. That's what bananas do. They freeze when you get bad frost, but they always bounce back in the spring. Bananas are supposed to freeze in Canada. And down the road from me, they have lots of them. Hal's got lots. You saw the video I shot today of the bananas down the road from us here. They look absolutely amazing. I'm not hearing anything out there, man. It's pretty darn quiet. CQDX South Pacific, CQ South Pacific. Is there any South Pacific stations out there? This is 9 UDX 791 in the North Pacific. I can hear a little chatter in there, some South Pacific skip, but not much. They're pretty resilient. The bananas are, okay, I'll tell you the species, and you can Google it if you want, okay? So watch my video on them. You Google that. Chris, that will tell you everything you need to know about them. So there's many species of banana out there. Musa is the Latin name for banana. Musa baju, I would say, is the world's most cold tolerant banana plant. And when I say cold tolerant, I'm talking root hardy. So if you mulch those roots, they could probably take a freeze down to minus 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, they get big, right? So exactly, Mike. They can always freeze down and come back like a perennial. They're a perennial. Bananas are the largest herb in the world. That's what bananas are. Bananas are a big rhizotomous herb. The biggest herb in the world is a banana plant. Did you know that? And the trunk/cane consists mostly of water and fiber. So they freeze easily. So you can see the video I shot today of how they protect the bananas here for winter if you don't want the canes to freeze back. Simply putting some bubble plastic around the canes, it protects them from freezing. And Musa baju are bulletproof here. You'll never kill them. You can freeze them to the ground, but they will always come back, and they spread like weeds. So no trick to growing bananas here. Yeah, they do. Oh, there's Wendy. Thank you very much. I was waiting for that call.
Hello.
Hello.
It's 5:30.
Is it 5:30? Well, I'm doing a live stream here. Wow, the Wi-Fi is working good. So is the soup ready? Is the soup ready? Hello?
Yeah. It could probably cook a little bit more, but that's okay. It's hot.
No, I wanted to cook a little bit more. I'll come in 10 minutes. Indiana Chris says, hi, Wendy. Are you hearing me? Indiana Chris says, hi, Wendy. Are you still there?
Hello, Indiana.
Indiana Chris.
Indiana Chris.
Haha, that's it.
Aloha.
Make mine A99. Yeah, and some other people are saying hi too. So anyway, Wendy says hi to everybody out there. All right, thanks. I'll come in about 10 minutes. Gotta love these things, eh? Barefooted Gardener, make mine A99. All right. I'm on channel 355, listening for South Pacific DX. I'm not really hearing much. 385. I'm on 385. It's pretty quiet. So anyway, I'm going to go have some soup in a few minutes, and then I'll leave this thing running, and I'll come back out here. If you guys are gone, hey, I don't blame you. You know, you can't hang around. But if you're still hanging around here, I'll chat with you. I'm not working tomorrow. I phoned my supervisor, and I says, I can't work, man. I got to take it easy. I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and he's going to give me the dirt. I might even be off work next week, too. That's the problem. I pushed myself to the limit. I went to work yesterday, and, I ended up stocking shelves in the grocery store, but it was repetitive motion as well, using this arm and moving heavy stuff. So 385 is pretty quiet here, too. And I'm beamed towards South Pacific. It's nothing much coming in, man. She's pretty quiet out on the band. Guess the skip is gone. But I did work a lot of DX today. I said the farthest place I worked today was Jamaica. 99 in Jamaica. The video gate's already on. So, yeah. So tomorrow night, it should be down. The freezing weather should be here on the Gulf Islands. It should have arrived all the way from beautiful Alaska. You know what I mean? It's too cold out for me. No, bananas are not protected. Not protected. I don't protect them anymore. I just let them freeze down and they come back up. Our bananas aren't very big. They're the problem is I moved them again because I never watered them the last summer. This summer I didn't water. This summer I watered them a bit. Last summer I didn't water them at all, and they just kind of died off in the summer. It's too dry. It's too dry here. I had 3 months with no rain, and they didn't get any water, and they looked like crap. So I dug them out and I moved them. Single digits there by Saturday night. See, that's chilly, but you know what? Musa baju bananas can survive that if you the ground. If you mulch the ground with straw or leaves, you pile it over top, they can actually survive single digits. Not a problem. And they'll bounce back in the spring. In Indiana, they'll get big because Mike is in Pennsylvania and he grows them. Oh, the winds make it feel cold, man. Whoa, they make it feel cold. We have bananas here on my street. Yeah, so they're musabaju. The species that you have there is musabaju. Musabaju. Everybody grows those things now. They're tough as nails. You can't kill them. Musabaju is a Japanese fiber banana. They're grown primarily ornamental beauty, and they do produce small bananas, but the bananas are palatable. The flowers are edible. They are grown for making clothes and paper in southern Japan. I win. Save the name. Save the name. You know, I win. Save the name. Musabaju. Save that name. Look it up, man. So, yeah, they're native to the Ryukyu Islands in southern Japan. I believe they were probably introduced there many, many moons ago from China. So they could actually be native to China. So there's lots of cold tolerant species of bananas. And when I say cold tolerant, I'm saying root hardy in a cold blast. Yeah, they're everywhere. I remember years ago, nobody grew bananas. They thought you're crazy we're growing bananas here. I've been growing them since the 1980s. Everybody grows bananas now. It's like big deal. You see bananas growing in someone's yard, I don't even look. Lots of bamboo, man. We have a bamboo forest here. You should see the bamboo that grows on this island. And I know where you are, there's tons of it too. Yeah, we have a lot of different types of bamboo on our property. The nicest ones are the timber bamboos and the Fargesia robusta. Absolutely beautiful. I mulched them heavily. Mother died. Only the pups made it. Yeah, they'll always come back. Neighbor grows near me. Yeah, so lots of bamboo, lots of palm trees. Anything that's exotic, I like it. Okay, I'm going to go in and get some soup, guys. I need my soup. I'm getting hungry. I'll be back. If you guys want to mingle with each other, talk to each other, mingle amongst each other, I will be back. If you're still here when I get back, that's awesome. I got to get some grits. I'm just really hungry. I never had lunch. That's the problem. I'm starving. Near me, Summer, you can see them large. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, there's lots of people here that grow huge banana plants, and they do look tropical. It's probably the most tropical thing you're going to grow here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go get some food. Otherwise, I'm going to starve to death. I'm back. And if you're not here, it's okay. Okay, that soup was awesome. I'm not here. I had 2 bowls of soup. Oh, there's 176. I hear him out there. Anyway, I had 2 bowls of soup, and you know what? Where am I located? Oh, where's he located? Thumb. Hey, Chris, you're still here. Hardcore. I had 2 bowls of soup, and I put Frank's hot sauce with it. So, and I tried so hard to take the bones out, and so did Wendy, because what we do, we boil down the whole chicken carcass, and to get as much meat off as you can. But there's always going to be bones in there. So you take the carcass out, you got to fish through. I still found about 3 or 4 little bones. It is soup weather, and it's good. Very, very good. Oh, so the Green Thumb is in Indiana as well. So Green Thumb Gardner is in Indiana. Cool. And Chris is in Indiana. I could have. Oh, you can share here, Chris. You're going to share right now. Hang on. Where are you, Chris? Indiana, Chris. There you go. You're a moderator now. There you go, Chris. I didn't know that's the way it worked. You actually have to, in order to share. Anyway, thanks for joining in. Live stream. I'm glad the live stream is still working. 1 hour and 30 minutes into this. I was just about to say live video gate. It's a live stream. Chris has the power. Indiana, folks, the Hoosier state, right? Indiana is the Hoosier state. Did I talk to Indiana today? I don't know. I hear 176 Australia out there right now. Did I talk to Indiana today? I don't think. You know what? I did talk to 52 in Indiana today. Yes, I did talk to Indiana. So 1 person in Indiana today. Lots of people in all over the other places, but only 1 person in Indiana. No, your blast off is in Pennsylvania. You're in the Northeast Buckeye state. I talked to a bunch of people in Ohio today. Actually, a lot of people in Ohio. The Hoosier state. Hoosier. Yeah, Indiana does. Matter of fact, 747 out of Indiana. If you look at the intro video on my Jungle Josie video gates, at 747, Indiana comes blasting in on AM. I used to talk to him a lot. Hopefully the guy's still alive. He was some older dude in Indiana. 747, a really nice guy. And I talked to him lots on Channel 28, but I haven't been talking as much AM skip these days. But, well, I can't say there's a lot of powerful stations around here because I really don't know. I'm the only one on this island that broadcasts, and I don't know if I'm powerful or not. But then there's Bob over on in Party. He's got a pretty good sounding station too, Bob. And Steve. Yeah, you're a moderator. Well, you must have been one for a while, I'm guessing. You're all... I must have made you one. Well, hang on, Chris. I thought I added you as one. There we go. There, now Chris is one. You better be one, Chris. I just added you one. I don't know when I added Blast Off. Maybe he's been one for a while, or maybe I just added one by mistake, but it doesn't really matter. He's always in there, so it doesn't matter. Give me a moderator. There you go. Chris is one now. Chris, say something. I want to see if your thing shows up in blue. The wrench beside your name there, Chris, next time you yeah, there you are. There you are. Yeah, it's beautiful. Like the sky is full of stars here tonight. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's so dark, and all you see is millions of stars out there. There's a very slight ocean breeze. Doesn't feel cold. It's not cold out at all. But it's coming tomorrow night. It's going to be different. I know we're supposed to get to -1 this morning months. So -1, when you say -1, that's Fahrenheit. That's like that's like -19 degrees Celsius. See, when we say -1 here, it's around 30 or 31 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you say -1, it's really cold. Wow, that is cold, man. Yeah, very, very cold. I should actually look at our forecast, see if it's changed. I don't think it has. Unfortunately, I still think it's going to be Arctic outflow warning. Yeah, it's going to get cold, man. We got the cold coming, man. She's a coming. I see some really cold temperatures starting tomorrow night, and the next night, the next night, the next night, and the next night. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights, I see some ugly cold temperatures. Wow. Puts the palm trees through the test, doesn't it? Huh? Definitely puts the palm trees through the test. 16. 22F where I live next week. 2F. 2F is -16, -17 degrees Celsius, I think. It's a subtropical climate, believe it or not. Grow those coconut palms in that subtropical climate. That's crazy. I know Tennessee, southern Tennessee is classed as subtropical. I didn't know Pennsylvania was, but I know southern Tennessee, actually maybe all of Tennessee is classed as subtropical. Needle palm will grow easily in most areas in Pennsylvania. I've seen some big ones there. And needle palm, I've seen needle palm growing in Indiana, actually. Like I said, there was a guy that used to post pictures of his needle palm on his garden. It was looking really good. And he was in southern Indiana. And it's a Rhipidophyllum hystrix is the Latin name. And that is the most cold-tolerant palm tree on the planet, native to the southeastern states. Look it up. For you people that don't know much about palms and want to know about hardy palms, needle palm. That's the palm, bulletproof. I call him the king of the frost. I know Dallas and TN. I know Dallas. I've sent him QSL cards last year, the year before. Dallas and Manchester, Tennessee. He's down in Manchester. He could grow some palms down there. And it does get cold down there too. The mountains to the west of me warm me up. Yeah, we don't have any. We have mountains all over our island. They don't really warm us up here, though. It's the ocean that warms us up. We have the Pacific Ocean. The ocean keeps our. Even though we're in Canada, our Pacific Ocean is like a heat bank. My dad and family grew up in TN, coffee country. Cool, that's awesome. I'd like to go down to TN. Love to see Tennessee. Like to go see Dollywood, and also Graceland Mansion. Oh, it does snow and get cold here too, because we're in Canada. Needle palm to grow here in Muncie can be the first. Cool. Now be patient with them, green's thumb, because they're very slow to germinate usually, right? If they're fresh seed, they're still a pretty slow seed to germinate, so be patient. I've grown many from seed. I have 7. We have 7 needle palms in our garden here, and they're all doing very well, and they're starting to get bigger. Near high end 29 on Sunday are, oh yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, you'll be all right. I've seen that. I've seen it like that where that temperature was the high temperature all week. You know, back, let's see, what was the worst freeze I've seen since I've lived here? 98, no, just 98. 98 was a pretty good one. 2008. I'm going to think 2008 was one of the worst freezes I've seen. Lengthy. It was about a week long, and daytime temperatures were like that or a little bit lower. And nighttime temperatures down around, I think it was down 18 or 18.5, something like that. It got pretty cold. 2008, December 2008 was a cold one, man. And we had a lot of snow here, a lot of snow and a lot of cold. And guess what? Didn't lose one windmill palm tree. And guess what? None of my windmill palm trees are protected. Are you near the ocean, Blastoff? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm very near the ocean. I'm about 900 feet from the beach. I can right across the street. When I get up in the morning, you see the diamonds sparkling on the ocean through the trees. There's trees across the street from me that buffer me from wind. There's forest, but I walk through a trail and I'm down at a beautiful beach. 3 feet of snow. Yeah, we had about 20 inches here in 2008. We had 20 inches in 2008. We had 28.5 inches in December 96. It did suck. I didn't know it was actually 3 gallon. There you go. Nice. That's cheap. $74 for a 3 gallon. That's awesome. Lucky you. Abby is doing great. It's hot in New Brunswick. Nice. 5C tonight. Oh, that Waggie's getting big. You got the biggest Waggie I know in the Atlantic Canada. Maybe all of Eastern Canada. Abby 2009 has a beautiful Trachycarpus wagnerianus. Now that was seed, or was it seed or seedling I sent you? I forget because I've shipped so much seed to that area. Was it seed or seedlings? And yeah, you guys, if you ever get post a picture sometime, Abby, on people who love palm trees again on Facebook, because it'd be nice to see how you protect it for winter. Blast off in there. Greetings from Boise. Steven's in there. Gem State Tropics, Boise, Idaho. Hopefully you're not going to get as cold as we're going to get. Chris says in 1996 it snowed 12 days straight. Wow. So you had it. 96 was a doozy there too. It was a seedling. Okay. 2009 in New Brunswick has an amazing Trachycarpus wagnerianus, man. It's looking beautiful. I see low temperatures of -10 Celsius, but I always say give or take. I'm not worried about it because I've seen them post that before in past forecasts and past winters, and it never gets that cold at this area. But it doesn't mean it's going to get. It doesn't mean it's not going to get that cold in other areas, right? It's really location is everything. So I would be surprised if we dipped, too much below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Could drop below 10 Fahrenheit. So 10 Fahrenheit is 12, -12. Anyway, seedling. So that was sent to you as a seedling in New Brunswick. How many years ago was that? How many years ago did I send you that those palm seedlings to New Brunswick? I forget. I've shipped a lot of seed and seedling to Nova Scotia. I've shipped to Newfoundland. I've shipped some to Prince Edward Island, lots to Ontario, lots to Quebec. I've shipped them to every province, man. I've shipped palm seed and seedling to every freaking province. I can't believe it. I don't know how they're all doing, but I know yours is doing well, man. 2012. Okay, so 2012. So about, yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, so 12 years ago. Might be sprouting palms. Might be try sprouting palm seeds this weekend. Yes, inside, of course. Yeah, if you get a chance, check out Abby 2009's Wagnerianus palm in New Brunswick, Canada. I would say it's the biggest and oldest palm tree on the east of the Atlantic coast of Canada. I don't know of any other ones. Just the southeast part is subtropical. Let's see. Is PAA subtropical? I never thought of it as subtropical. It says primarily humid subtropical with patches of oceanic in the south. That's what it says. Köppen climate. Pennsylvania is showing that the climate of the state is primarily warmer summer, humid continental in the north, and primarily humid subtropical with patches of oceanic in the south. So there it is. It is a subtropical climate. Yeah, you have a big needle palm there. Yeah. Hey, Abby, you need to try a needle palm. Needle palm would be good. And Steven, needle palm in New Brunswick, try sable minor, try needle palm. And also, what else? Sable Riverside is a tough one too. I once grew a Sable Riverside palm I brought in from California. This is going back, I'm going to say 35 years ago. And it survived down into the single digits Fahrenheit at my last location. It survived about 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit in South Langley, where I used to live. What times does Austria come in best? It comes in usually about this time. What time do we have now? About an hour earlier than this to now. And right now, you know what? It's It's dead. I'm going to turn this off. There's nothing in here. I'm not hearing anything. So what I'm going to do is turn that off and that off. I'm going to turn my beam around for tomorrow for when I do my live video gate. So I'm ready to hear you guys in the southeastern U.S. So my remote thing is numbers on it. So I know number 3 is southeast, and I know number 12 is southwest. I got everything all figured out. Antenna, right? So when I want to turn my antenna, some of you haven't seen this. This is what I have. There's my coordinates there. You see northeast, everything on there. That's my beam antenna. When I turn it around, I just look at that. So there, and I'm going to turn that off. Let's see what I have. I'll just leave that on. Turn that off. There we go. Turn it on low because we might hear some local chatter in there. My friend Greg has been Dollywood, and I'd love to go to Dollywood. Gem State Tropics, Stephen. I've seen some needle palms and sable mine here. Oh yeah, they'll be good. They will be good. So needle palm is like I say, king of the frost beater. It is the best, most cold tolerant. I'm going to say shrubby palm that can grow 10 feet tall easily. Palm Planet in DC, in Washington DC, shoots videos of some very nice ones around his area. Some beautiful ones in the Washington, D.C. Arboretum. There are some big ones. I saw a TRC4. Oh, nice. I like that. That's a good radio, 457. That's like this one. It's got the clock, and here's Australia coming in. Australia's coming in right now on 38. $600. Holy crap, that's too much, man. No, I wouldn't pay for that for it. It's just because I would go buy some like an Anytone or something with all the frequencies in it. But a TRC 457 is a very good radio. Like I say, I bought that new in 1978. Yeah, no, I know the needle palms will be good in Idaho and Sable Minor. And if you want another hardy palm, try Sable Louisiana. Sable Louisiana and Sable Birmingham. Those are very tough palms as well. Sable Birmingham. Oh, yeah. Florida, they grow too, right? They probably even have native ones in the north. I have, like I say, 7 needle palms in the garden, and so far so good. And we'll see how they do after this cold snap. They've survived every cold snap so far. I've had them in the ground for, I don't know how many years, maybe going close to 10 years, something like that. I've had one in the ground for about 20 years, and that one I moved a couple of times. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Thanks for popping in, and I appreciate you putting in your 2 bits worth. And like I say, when you come out and visit, when you fly up here one day, Stephen did get his pilot's license. When you fly up here one day, what you could do, you could come in at Boundary Bay Airport, and we could send you home with some palm seedlings and some seed, because you'd be easier to get them back on your plane, right? I could pull you out some palm seedlings, load you up with lots of palm seed from some nice palms around this area. We will definitely load you up, and you will. I know you'll make them back. The last guy that visited us and he stayed in our accommodation, he was from Seattle. I sent him back with a bunch of palms, and he made it back. I gave him seeds and seedlings, and he made it back. Hope it's not going to be as bad. Right now, Stephen, what I'm seeing is pretty fugly temperature. This is what I see for tomorrow. High of 3 and snow, 3 Celsius, low of -10 and snow. Friday, high of -5 and sun, low -10 and clear. Then -3, then -7, high of 0, low -8, high 0, low -6, then a high of 2. So it's not till next Tuesday where it actually gets above freezing. So we got 4 days where the daytime temperatures are 2 days below freezing, 2 days at freezing. And so we got a 4-day freeze, 4 days and 5 nights. So it starts freezing tomorrow night. Yee, that sucks. That's the way she goes, man. That's the way she goes when you live up here in the north, though, right? When you live up here in the North Pacific, you can expect anything from our friends in Alaska because, something, somebody asked me today, it was on I think it was a comment on one of the videos Friday night for us. Oh, so you're getting yours Friday night. Okay. We're getting ours Thursday. So yeah, because you're down in Oregon. So somebody was asking me, where do you think the northernmost palm trees grow in British Columbia on your coast? And I would say Haida Gwaii. I would say the northernmost palm trees grow in Haida Gwaii Islands, way north of here, not too far from the Alaska Panhandle. I've actually shipped some of my palms up there. Couple of our B&B guests were visiting from Haida Gwaii, and I loaded them up with a bunch of palm seedlings. But I know there's palms up there. And there were 2 palms growing in Sitka, Alaska for 20 years. No protection, Sitka, Alaska. And they finally froze in a bad winter. I always hear somebody kind of bleeding over, and I can't figure out who it is. I'm wondering also if Alaska, yeah, they can grow them in Sitka, Alaska. And I've been to Alaska 3 times. And I will be up there again in May. And there's no doubt in my mind, in a sheltered spot in the southern end of the Panhandle, I think they could grow Trachycarpus palms up against a building somewhere. What I did see when I was there, I did see broadleaf evergreens. I did see some gorgeous rhodos. I remember seeing some laurel. I think I did see some photinia. I'm looking around. I'm always looking around for plants. So I would say on the southern end of the Panhandle, possibly, I should actually bring some seed with me. I should bring some seed with me and plant some. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Smuggle some up and get booted off the cruise. Wouldn't that suck? That would be, yeah, that's what I got to do. I'll put some in my pocket of my pants and I'll just play stupid. I can just play stupid if they take them away because the seeds I bring are clean. They're not carrying any diseases or germs or anything, right? So, palm smuggler, yeah. The last time I came back from Maui, was it the last time? It was the last time or the time before? We collected a bunch of really nice palm seeds, Wendy and I, off Livistona, off Pritchardia. I had some Washingtonia seeds. I had some royal palm seeds. I had foxtail seeds, bifurcata, and I cleaned them all off, took the husk off, and I put them in my pocket, and they took them away at the airport. It sucked. We got 3 inches of snow and are getting much more Friday and Saturday. Check. You know what? The snow is a good insulator, though, Stephen. It's a good insulator. Very good insulator. So, what I say before a deep freeze, you want a good snowfall, a good heavy snowpack to cover up all those marginal things. And especially if they're smaller, they're going to be buried in snow like an igloo, and they're going to be protected under the insulation of the snow, right? So it doesn't hurt to have a good snowpack before you get a deep freeze. And, unfortunately here, we're probably not going to have a good snowpack, and we're going to get a deep freeze. And anything that's extremely marginal might show damage or get killed. It just depends how cold it gets here. If it really did get to minus 10 degrees Celsius, there certainly will be some damage. There would probably be damage on Trachycarpus palms. There's no doubt about it. My palm trees here, most of them have never endured minus 10. Some of them I brought from my other place have, but the ones in this garden have never endured minus 10 degrees Celsius. That's around 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And that would cause some damage on them, right? Yes, we have sago palms in the ground. I have Cycas patuensis, and I have 3 Cycas revoluta. Cycas panjuensis from China, a rare one, has been in the ground about 10 years now. And it's covered with a kind of like under a tarp. I got it with the Yucca gigantea. Over the Yucca gigantea, I do have a plastic, like I make a makeshift simple tent over it out of PVC. Takes probably 10 minutes to put up, and it's in there. So they're in there, and I have a Brahia armata in there too. So yeah, it's been there a while. Tomorrow I have to get my snowblower out. Wow. Yeah, I don't have a snowblower. I've never owned one. It's rare. You don't really see anybody with snowblowers here. I'm sure the trackies would be. Yeah, I've heard of trackies. Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. If there's wind combined with 10 degrees Fahrenheit, it's a different story. Now, I can tell you a story. It was back in the 1980s, and we had this freeze come in. It was a day like this where it was really mild, followed by this really fast deep freeze. And so in the daytime, I was out there gardening. It was probably 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm back. I had dinner barefooted gardener. I've been back for a while now. So we had this mild day, a mild winter buildup. It was really, really mild. And I was out there working in the garden, and they said the temperatures that night were going to get to minus 12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, with brutal cold outflow winds. Now, I lived in Langley, southeast of Vancouver, about 25 miles or so southeast of Vancouver. Different than Vancouver. You get these outflow winds that come from the valley. And you know what? It freeze dried at 12 degrees, at minus 12, 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It completely freeze dried the Trachycarpus palm leaves in exposed areas. It fried them off. It killed them, but it didn't kill the palms. It just freeze dried the leaves. What's this in F? What's this in F? 15 Fahrenheit is minus 10. 10 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 12. I think, 10 Fahrenheit is about minus 12 Celsius. You have 3 snowblowers. Holy crap. You know what? It's funny. You never see anybody with snowblowers here, really. It would be rare ever to see a snowblower here. But back in 1995, my dad bought he bought one in 96. My dad bought one in 1996. It would have been probably the summer or the fall of 1996. And I laughed at him. I laughed at my dad because he bought a snowblower. He says, "You're never going to use that thing here." December 1996 rolls around, and we get this record-breaking snow. The deepest snow since 1916. Record, 28 and a half inches of snow. Dad uses a snowblower. He phones me up, and he says, "You remember that snowblower I bought?" He says, "It works great." And meanwhile, I wrecked my back shoveling snow, right? Yeah, it's rare to ever use. You don't really have to use a snow shovel much here, and if you do, it doesn't last long, right? Snow doesn't last long here. It's gone pretty quick. I hear Australia coming in. I wish I had dessert. I might have to have some Cheerios after. Windmill palms are hardy too. Yeah, they rate them. A nursery rates a windmill palm tree hardy to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. When you buy a windmill palm tree, most of the time it'll say 10 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 12. But in fact, they will actually survive colder, especially ones that are established or mature specimens that have been through many winters. So the coldest I've ever heard of a windmill palm tree surviving is below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. I think minus 23 degrees Celsius or minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit with defoliation. Some people claim the deep freeze in Georgia in January 85, they survived minus 12 degrees Fahrenheit, or it was minus 9 or minus 12. I find it hard to believe, but that's what some people claim. I find it hard to believe that any palm could survive that. Mountain laurel. Mountain laurel's nice. I like that stuff. We have Oregon box native to here. Oregon box, manzanita, Oregon grape, salal, western sword ferns, and Pacific madrona. So we have lots of evergreen native plants on this island and licorice ferns. No rhodos here, but we have lots of rhodos. Like there's rhodos native to our coast, west side of Vancouver Island, rhodos everywhere. You're driving in the spring, you see them blooming down the sides of the road in the forest. Here, we have rhododendrons, but there's no native ones here on Salt Spring Island of the Gulf Islands. But we do have the native cactus, and we have the native succulents. We do have native succulents, Sedum spathifolium. I like mountain laurel. That's one plant I want to get for the garden. Oh, we also have Pacific wax myrtle, but that's native to the West Coast. It's another big tree. Look that one up, Pacific myrtle. Mount Hood has big ones. Yeah, they're beautiful. Corn and soybean. Hey, I like soybeans. I eat those. Soybeans are good. I think good for you too. God, I got a sore knee. I bashed it today. That frickin' concrete fire pit out there. Ouch. Anyway, yeah. So you grow a lot of crops out there. So Indiana is probably a lot like the Canadian prairies where they grow wheat, corn, millet, soybean, whatever. All that stuff up there, right? Yeah, I like soy. I eat soybeans. I eat tofu too. But I eat meat as well. Mint farms. Oh, that's cool. I like mint too. We grow it and I use it in my tea. I mint tea every day. Yeah, I eat tofu I don't eat it every day, but I eat it a lot. I had a couple of days ago, I made eggs, and in the cast iron pan, I sliced up tofu and I just put it with the eggs in the cast iron skillet, and then I put a little bit of organic natural soy sauce on it, so it's got less sodium in it, and it's made out of it's called Bragg's, made by Bragg's. Yeah, where I am, it will damage them. 8 degrees Fahrenheit. That's going to probably damage windmill palms up here. Definitely. Yeah, that's pretty cold. A bad idea. Yeah, you should try it. And I mean, tofu just takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking usually, right? There's a tofu company here on Salt Spring that sells really good tofu. I'll get you the link. Deb's Tofu. Let's just see here. There it is. Been in business over 23 years. I've been there. I've actually watched them make it. I think I actually have a video of them making it. There's the tofu factory on Salt Spring. I think there's more than one, but Deb's Tofu has been in business a long time. That's the place. It's a place that sells it there. They deliver it too. Are getting arrived in the middle of a. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. We're forecast 21 this weekend. 21 Fahrenheit's not that bad. That's still a zone 9, dude. You'll be all right. That's okay. 21 is about -6, -5.6 or something like that, -7 Celsius. Yeah, Deb's Tofu's got some really good smoked tofu too. Oh, I love it. Yeah, watch them when they deliver them in the cold weather. I can tell you a story. You know, one time a guy ordered a bunch of palm trees from me. It was a Coconut Mike in Montreal. God rest his soul. He passed away at 48 several years ago. Nice guy. Used to buy a lot of palm, seedling, tikis from me and stuff. And he had a nursery back there. And he says, Joe, can you ship me some palms? So I bare rooted a bunch of 1-gallon palms. I think he wanted like 10 or 15 of them. And I was sad, man. It was mild here, really mild, 50 degrees. But during transit between here and there, it was like -10. So by the time he got them, they were in the back of a Canada Post truck going across the country. They had frozen solid. And they died, man. It really sucked. They were frozen, dead, black by the time they got there. So I won't ship any live seedlings in the winter unless it's mild out. I have to really watch the. They won't deliver to U.S. Son of a gun, bummer. Oh well, it's a pretty good place. Is that the actual store? Let's just see, because there's Deb's Tofu. Deb's. Oh, that's spud.ca. Let's see here. Hang on. So they sell Deb's Tofu, but there's actually Deb's Tofu here on Salt Spring. I don't know if that place that's selling it is the actual tofu place. I'm looking for the tofu place. Deb's Tofu on Salt Spring. Deb's on Salt Spring Island. Hang on. I'll try to find you a link here. Deb, 23 years ago in beautiful Salt Spring Island. There it is. There it is. There. I think that's it. This is her. There it is. There's her. There's the site. Sorry, I gave you the wrong site, buddy. This is the site right here. Make mine. Here it is right here. No, this is her actual site, her homepage right there. That's where you want. That was a company selling her tofu. All right. So this is her that's her page right there. That's the tofu store right there. Soy Nova on Salt Spring Island. And I've been in there once to make it. It's kind of cool. I think I actually shot a YouTube video of it years ago. So, Jungle Joe C. Video Gates, you posted a link. Awesome. Thank you. That's my other channel. That's my newer channel. You know, it's been 12 years. I started my other channel 12 years ago. 12 years ago. This one I started 14 years ago. So there you go. Yeah, so that's the place, Make Mine A99. That's her. And Deb's a cool gal. She's a pretty cool chick. So Soy Nova. God, I just drove past there the other day. I says, oh, there's the tofu place. I always do every time I pass by. And because I went down there to look at the daffodils. The daffodils are in that area are just about in bloom. A little late this year, but they're just about in bloom. They're showing yellow already. But she's got the smoked tofu is my favorite. I love smoked tofu. I mean, you can just cut that stuff off and it comes in a block. It's vacuum sealed, and you can just eat that stuff the way it is. Anyway, I hope your palms are going to be okay, Stephen, Gem State Tropics, if they ship them in the cold weather. Hopefully the root balls do not freeze. You do not want them to freeze. Our daffodils, yeah, they come here, they start blooming here in Salt Spring, beginning of January. You can see my YouTube videos here. Winter daffodils on Salt Spring Island. And I always put the date in there too when I talk about when I'm shooting them, right? I've seen them actually bloom lots of January 1st for New Year's Day. We have some daffodils somewhere. This year, it's kind of weird. It's been so mild. They're only budded up. It's just beyond me. They might be blooming now. I was down there on the weekend and they were just starting to show some yellow, right? So it just depends, I guess, on the way the weather goes. The palms will be potted with soil. The pots will be wrapped. Okay. And where are they coming from? I'm curious. Or is it Chili Palm Goat? I used to have crocus and they would pop up through. Yeah, crocus are a good one. And you know another one, Chris? Winter aconite. Winter aconite and snowdrops. Look at my videos on snow on this channel. Snowdrops are amazing. Snowdrops will come up through the snow too. Or there'll be carpets of them. It'll snow on them. It doesn't hurt them. South Carolina. That's the bonus with you guys in the States. You can order some cool palms from other states. So that's awesome. Oh, you're getting a queen palm. Cygrus Roman Zophiana. Nice. Sweet. I love queen palms. Queen palms are cool. You know, they say the silver queen is a little bit more cold hardy. I did put them to the test. Nah, didn't see a difference. And my queen palm cross boutique packed it, and it's done. It's toast. They made it a few years. 4 years? 4 years. Maybe just about 5 years, and it's done. So no more mule palms for me. I do have some in the greenhouse. Yeah, that'll be nice. From South Carolina. So they're probably coming by plane, maybe? Because South Carolina is a long way away. I'm guessing by plane they're going to ship them. I don't know. Maybe they truck them. I'm not too sure. Unless it's FedEx. Oh, well, FedEx, they can still ship them by plane too. Right? So, but yeah, in order to get a palm here from the States, it needs a phytosanitary certificate. And I'm not saying I have not brought palms from the States. Remember, I'm a member of the Palm Society, okay? And I brought palms in from the States through the Palm Society. I'm pretty sure it's coming truck. Okay, so hopefully, pray, fingers crossed for you, buddy, that it's not going through a deep freeze on the way here. You know, hopefully the truck is insulated or something. And yeah, and that's the thing what happened to my palms when they got shipped from here to Montreal. They went through the prairies. They went through Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario. And by the time they got to Montreal, they were done. Smugglers, palm smugglers. People go to great lengths to get palm trees, Chris. It's amazing. So it's so funny. So the story about me on Maui, and it's not the first time I've brought seeds back from Maui, or at least tried. So I had my pockets full, my short pockets full of palm seeds. And because I kind of look sketchy when I'm going through customs, I'm covered in tattoos and stuff. They always think I'm a sketchy guy. Wendy goes through and he boxed them all in palm trees in Quebec. And he boxed them all in every year and put heat with them. You could never grow any palm tree outside in Quebec ever. They need to be boxed in. They build a structure around them, put heat in with them. If you didn't do that, they'd be dead. Quebec's way too cold. So anyway, he says, you go over through the body scanner. I go through the full body scanner. And he says, okay. And I come out of the body scanner and he brings out a bowl and he says, whatever in your pockets, empty them out, put them in this bowl. So I empty out my pockets in my cargo shorts and fill his bowl up with palm seeds. I didn't fill it to the top. And he says, what are these? And I said, they're palm seeds. He said, what are you going to do with them? I says, I'm going to grow them. He says, you can't bring seeds across. And he took them all away, man. It just totally sucked. I was so pissed off. Took all my palm seeds away. So, but you know, one time I was in Honolulu and I packaged them up and I mailed them. I mailed all the palm seeds back. And when I got home, they were already in the mailbox, man. That was 2013 or 2014. 2013 or 2014. And they were already in the mailbox when I arrived. On the way home, I went to the mailbox and got my big bag of palm seeds. So I will not be bringing them in my pockets anymore. If I come back from Maui, I will mail them back. Most palms on Maui will not grow here anyway, but there were some nice ones. And I had some Bismarckia seeds too. I had some really nice Bismarckia seeds, and but they all got taken away. You should have said they were. I should have. Well, you know what I've done one time? You get a bag of peanuts or whatever, or nuts or mixed nuts, and you carefully take the top off the bag. They like a little cardboard thing that says mixed nuts, and the staples. You carefully take the staples out. You throw some palm seeds in the bag of mixed nuts, and then you put the label back on it. I've done that before too. That's how to bring seeds across. Another time when I showed up at YVR Vancouver International Airport, they said, "You bringing any seeds back?" And I couldn't lie. I said, "Yes." Any plants or seeds? I declared them. And they sent me over to another counter. And he looked at them, and he was just about ready to take them. And I said, "They're for indoor use only." And he gave me the stamp of approval. Yeah, palm smuggling. People smuggle palms. Dude, people are palm nuts. There's a palm society. I'll show you something. I just got this the other day. Okay, where did that go? There it is. Ah. So I'm in the Palm Society. There's the Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic Plant Society 2024 calendar. Okay, so I've been in the Palm Society. I used to be president of the Pacific Northwest Palm Society. Here's a nice Camarops growing in Vancouver. These pictures are from here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? What's the back cover? What is the back cover? Back cover is Tacoma, Washington. Isn't that a beautiful Camarops? That's that's Tacoma, Washington, right there. That is absolutely beautiful Camarops. So this is the Palm Society. You like palms. Make Mine A99 likes palms. Here's some in Vancouver in a snowy winter. They don't look the greatest. Those look kind of crappy to me, but that's some in Vancouver. And somebody's got a bird. What is that? A bird of parrot? No, that's ginger blooming in Vancouver. These are the pictures. These are the pictures in the calendar, right? So the different months. There's agaves growing in Vancouver. This is all Pacific Northwest. These are Dechium growing in Vancouver, the Pacific Northwest. Gingers. It's all for the Pacific Northwest. That's in Vancouver, right? You can see the different stuff growing here. That's actually, that's Tofino, I think. Just a minute. That's Tofino. That's actually Tofino on the west coast of Vancouver. I've been to that guy's place a lot. I posted a recent picture in the Zone Pushers group. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, put one in people who love palm trees too, buddy. I want people to see that. This is there's a nice Vancouver garden. What do you think of that? By looking at that, you'd never think it's Vancouver. That is Vancouver, British Columbia right there. Look at those palms. Aren't they beautiful? That's the ocean with the palms. There's a tree fern growing in Vancouver. And some bananas growing in Vancouver. And some ice plants growing in Vancouver. You'd have to be a member of the Palm Society. You actually have to join. They're online. You can get them. Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic Plants Society. I'll give you the link. There is the hell is that? That's just a sumac. It looks tropical, but they're not tropical. It's a sumac tree. I wouldn't have put that in there. Passion vine. It's like taro or colocasia. So anyway, and then they put out a journal. Smuggler's Blues. I'm going to put this back up here. But I'll give you a link to the Palm Society. You might like it. Write for the Hardy Palm International. I've written lots of Smuggler's Blues. That is a good song. Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic. Okay, there's probably a link here, and I'll just post it for you. So, there it is. I'll post a link. Oh, there we go. There's their website right here. January 10th, 2024. So, if you want more information on the Palm and Exotic Plant Society, so I'll tell you about the Palm and Exotic Plant Society. The International Palm Society started in Kansas in 1955 by a fellow named Dent Smith. Believe it or not, it started in Kansas by Dent Smith, the International Palm Society, by a guy that loved palm trees. The International Palm Society is still around, and they put out a journal called Princeps. I used to be a member of the International Palm Society. I was also a member of the Southern California Palm Society back in the 80s. And the International Palm Society has many chapters. So we are a chapter of the International Palm Society. We are the Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic Plant Society. There's Alabama Palm Society. There's probably a Florida Palm Society. There's California Palm Society. So there's lots of palm societies. And we're the Northwest chapter, which covers Washington, Oregon, and South Coastal British Columbia. Did you live in Southern Cal? Me, I've never lived in California, but I've been there several times. I've never lived in California, but I've been there. And I've been to Hawaii a lot more, though. I've been to Hawaii 26 times, and I think I've been to Hawaii, California 4 or 5 times, something like that. But I love it, man. It's awesome. I like Cal. So anyway, the Palm Society is the Pacific Northwest Palm Society is actually a pretty good thing if you want to learn about different palms that grow here in the North Pacific. And like I say, it covers coastal British Columbia, Oregon, Washington. So that's the Pacific Northwest. I'm from LA and moved to Oregon. I like Oregon. I think I'd rather live in Oregon than LA myself. You know what I mean? I don't think I'd want to live in LA, although I had a lot of fun when I was down there, but I really like where you live in Oregon. It's a beautiful area. And if I had to live in the States right now, I would probably live on the Oregon coast or Hawaii. I really don't get me wrong. I love California too, but I really like Oregon. They don't pay any tax, right? There's no sales tax. It's like Alberta. And they have some very unique climates in Oregon. So you can go down to I call the subtropical corner at Brookings, or you can go into the mountains and into the cold desert areas inland, right? No sales tax, just like Alberta. I think Alberta has no sales tax. I'm pretty sure they're like that too. Yeah, Oregon is a good state to live in. So I don't blame you for living in Oregon. I had a friend that lived down in Portland, then he moved to Salem, and now he's in Norway. He moved to Norway. But anyway, so look up that link, the Palm Society link, and it'll give you all the dirt. And calendars come from me every year. They used to put out a journal, but they don't put out a journal. It used to be called the Hardy Palm International. And I think it's actually all online now. Hardy Palm International Palm Journal. And I used to do cartoons for it back in the day from 1990 to 1991. 1990 and 1991, I was president of the Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic Plant Society. That was a long time ago. 34 years ago, I was president of the Palm Society. Long time ago. And I've been in the Palm Society, this one, since 1988. I think it was 88 I joined. So 36 years ago, I joined the Palm Society. Wow. But I've been growing palms a lot longer. But that's the way she goes. But anyway, Dent Smith, like I say, started the international one many moons ago. And it's still going strong, man. Still going strong. I think they're actually I think there's a Hawaii chapter too. It's in 80 countries worldwide. I believe there's 80 countries worldwide as the Palm Society, and there's thousands of members. Thousands of members. I used to play Texas online. Lady met, and this lady I met living. Oh, Texas Hold'em. That's pretty cool. That's where they wear those sunglasses and they look kind of badass because you can't see their eyes, right? Texas Hold'em. People can win big money doing that. I'd like to win the lottery. Wouldn't that be nice to win the lottery? Oh, life would change. Life would be so much easier if I won the lottery. I dream about that. I buy lottery tickets, but I never win big. And I will gamble on the cruise ship. So I'm not a gambler, really. But on the cruise ship, there's a big casino. And in that casino, I will take a roll of American quarters. And when my quarters run out, I run out. So I like to play the quarter slot machines. And, when I was on cruise last time, I won $120. And then another time I won $90 in the quarter slot machines. And I cashed in, I take the money and then I just left the casino after I ran out of quarters. But I didn't put that money I won back into this casino. I kept playing with my roll of quarters until my roll of quarters ran out and then I left. But I kept what I won. You know what I mean? Is anybody in there? No, it's dead. So anyway, it was lots of fun. So Wendy and I will go in and um, play the slots. There's I just play the quarter slots. There's actually nickel slots too, right? And last time I went in 2012, they had the one arm bandits. I sure hope they have those still. I hope they don't just have the push buttons because I love pulling the gear shift down, right? You know what I mean? The slot machine. It's kind of fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to the cruise, man. I haven't been on a vacation since December 2019. So I'm ready to go on a vacation. Need to head out. Thank you. Hey, thanks for supporting the channel. Stephen, Gem State Tropics. I hope that your palm trees make it safe and sound. Please let us know how they're doing when they arrive. Maybe do a video of them. Make a palm video. Please. I think they're going to be okay. Knock on wood, your palms are going to be okay, buddy. And like I say, if you ever fly up this way, you're going to be going home with some of my palm trees and a tiki too. I will give you a tiki. I'll carve you a tiki with my chainsaw. You will bring a tiki back, not just palms, okay? I will carve you a tiki. Palm update. I'll give you guys we need a palm update by Steve from Steven. I'm not a fan of casinos, but I do like, neither am I. I don't go to them. The only ones I've ever been, I went to one in Langley one time years ago. Years ago, I went to one. Oh, no, I didn't. I went horse racing. I bet $20 on a horse race. It wasn't the only casino I've ever been in is on the cruise ships. I bet on a horse race, $20 with my old boss. This was, God, probably, I'm going to say in the mid 80s. I'm going to say 1985, 86, 85. I was old enough to gamble. I was 21, I guess. And I bet $20 and I lost. I never went back. Oregon Megabucks. We play, Wendy plays the 649, which can be, 10, 20 million. There's Lotto Max that can be 65 million. I just play the cheapy little one. It's $1 a ticket and it's 2 million. And I'm happy with 2 million bucks. Although if I won 5 million, I'd probably be happier, right? So I play BC 49 and it's $2 million and it's $1 play. And this past summer, I did win 75 bucks, which was cool. You know what I mean? So if you don't play, you don't have a chance. Oregon Megabucks is the same. Okay, cool. Then there's, of course, the Powerball lottery in the States, where sometimes it gets up to $1 billion. Isn't that crazy? I think it's been over $1 billion, hasn't it? Can you imagine that? $1 billion frickin' dollars. But I know they tax you on that, so it doesn't matter. Even if you walk away with 600 million or something. That's insane. Isn't that an insane amount of money to have that much money? Like, I don't know if that F's up your life or what. I did an update on my palms a little while ago. Barefooted Gardener. And how are they doing? 8 million prize, 6 million. That's the thing. I probably got a better chance of me getting hit by lightning. You know what I mean? It's like Wendy plays the Hospital Foundation Lotto. And the Hospital Foundation Lotto in Vancouver, there's prize homes. They give away prize homes. They give away cash. They give away prizes. And there's a bunch of houses to choose from. Now, the one she's got her eye on, she gets to choose any house. It's a beautiful house in Courtenay on Vancouver Island by the ocean and 1.5 million in cash, plus a new car, plus an e-bike, which is pretty cool. I said I'd sell the place. I played a weekly lotto at work for 30 years, never once. Isn't that unreal, eh? So that's what the odds are. Very slim. Chris, very slim. But then there's other groups that go into it, Chris. Like, there's other companies where they kind of pool their money together, and then you hear, oh, they just won the big one, and they split it between 20 people or whatever, right? But that's like me. I've been playing the lottery for a long time. I've won 120, 175, 150, $100 here and there, but nothing to make me rich, for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, post a link. I'd like to see it. Like to see how the palms are doing. I will. I'll do a video tomorrow out in the garden. If we're not off island tomorrow. Oh no, tomorrow we're going off island. She said something about Victoria. I don't know. If we're off island, I'll do a video of palms off island. But I do have to go to the doctor in the morning. But if we have to go off island, I know she's got to get something done with her car, like an alignment at the Toyota place, and it's just across the water. So if we go off island, I'll try to do a video of palms in Victoria, and I'll also make sure to do some videos here too. The cold snap approaches the southern Gulf Islands here in the north. Pacific. It's going to be interesting to see how low we go. And I'll try to do a live stream maybe tomorrow night on Banana JSSI. Maybe that's a good thing. In the daytime, I do my Jungle Joe C video gate on the radio. And at night, I can do my Banana JSSI gardening one. And we'll see how things go here. It's going to get cold, dude. It's going to get cold. I know. It's going to get too cold for my liking. That's why I got the Stanfield shirt on. Keeps me warm. And my toque. That's my company toque right there. It says Country Grocer on it. That keeps my noggin warm. Otherwise, if I didn't wear a toque, you know what? My head's going to freeze just like a plant that's bare root. So you got to keep that head, because if your head gets cold, then you get cold, right? So you got to keep it. You got to wear a toque. Anyway, this one here, I got some nice ones. I got one. That one says Country Grocer on it, and then I got a red one too. But I got a lot of toques. I mostly wear the Harley toque. But I'm keeping my head warm, dude. It's a toque. T-O-C. No, T-O-Q-E. Toque. That's what they call it. A toque up this way, right? A toque. And you know what? When people sometimes wear them year round, I only wear them when it's cool out. I don't wear anything in the warm months. There's no way. I just put a little bit of sunblock up there so it won't fry the noggin. Keeping the head warm is important. And my legs really don't get cold. I don't own long johns. I've never owned long johns. It doesn't get cold enough to wear those here. But I love the Stanfield. This is wool. These are awesome. I should see how my bruise is doing. Yeah, it's a pretty good bruise, man. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard to see in here, but I got a big bruise here. My bad, working out and doing push-ups, man. See, when I hop out of bed in the morning, I do a shitload of push-ups, and then I do a bunch of crunches. And I shouldn't have done it, man. I can never keep still and do as I'm told. And now it's kind of hurting. Kind of pissed off that I did that. I should have waited. I was saying to myself, I'm going to wait a month. I'm going to wait a month. I go, no, I'm good. I'm good to go. I can work out. But I didn't do the free weights. I was only on my Bowflex. Probably even worse if I did the free weights. So now I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow to see what this bruise is caused from. Hopefully I didn't rupture anything inside me and I'm not bleeding internally. If I'm not here tomorrow and I died, we'll get Wendy to take over the live streams. I hear people talking in there, man, on 38. But anyway, yeah, it is important to keep the head warm. You don't want to freeze your head. I think a lot of warmth escapes through the top of the head, right? I hear Australia coming in a little bit on 38. 333 is coming in. I just uploaded a video of him today. 333. Anyway, I've talked to guys on here where they've actually sent me seeds. Australia is in the house right now on channel 38. 333. I got to see something here now. I'm curious if I can get to this guy. Okay, let's see. Put everything on. I got to beam towards. Hang on, guys. I'm going to beam towards the South Pacific. Yeah, 333 makes a lot of noise. I don't know what that guy's running, man. Okay. I hear him in there. There he is. 333. Hey, 333. How about a 333 Australia? Hey, 333 UDX 791. I'm going to try for him. Sorry, guys. How about a 333 Australia? Hey, 333 UDX 791. I can hear him. Very interesting, eh? That guy must be running mega power, eh? He has to be. CQDX, CQDX. How about a 333 Australia? How about a 333 Australia? UDX 791. Hey, 333, you're making a lot of noise up here. 333 Australia, UDX 791. Now he's kind of faded out a bit. That was making noise up here, that guy. What do you think he's running? I know Trevor's running a 2-stack 9-element beam. So anyway. I hear somebody calling CQDX out there. So we got some evening skip coming in. I need to eat some cereal. You know, I got this craving for Wendy buys this. They're Cheerios, but not really Cheerios. Cheerios, the brand, the type they are. But she buys this thing like Cheerios, and they're organic. Sally Sue, we had a difficult year for seeds. A lot of our faithful didn't get seeds. Others had to work too. No way. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear. We had a lot of seeds this year on the palm trees. I harvested a ton of them, and they're hanging in the basement right now. And I harvest them green. They're all black now. I ship them usually. Well, I usually ship seeds out every week, palm seeds, right? Because I sell on eBay. But people do privately message me if they want fresh palm seeds. So I sell a lot of palm seeds, Trachycarpus palm seeds from our island. The last bunch I just shipped I shipped them to Renton, Washington, and I got some going to North Carolina. So hopefully they've made it to North Carolina. And I said, snail mail takes time here from Canada. The mail service is freaking slow, too slow. Anyway, I hope you're having a mild winter where you are, Sally Sue, because we got cold air coming down here real soon. Tomorrow night, it's going to be on top of us, freezing our heinies off. And that's not a good thing. Not a good thing for the exotic plants, that's for sure. It definitely puts them to the test. When you get a real nasty cold snap, it actually weeds out the wimpy plants, and that's the way I see it. Weeds out the wimpies, right? So we'll see what happens. Survival of the fittest. That's the way she goes up here in the Great White North, right? Okay. I think I'm going to turn this off. I think Australia's now faded out, but I was hearing 333. He's got to be on top of a mountain in Australia or something, that dude. Turn that off. Okay. And turn the rotor off. Turn the beam off. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. There we go. And yeah, it's pretty quiet. I think I'm going to roll. I think I've done a sufficient, long enough live stream. I don't want to bore you guys anymore. I'm glad you guys came in there. Some of the seeds we split into maybe 8 partial seeds didn't mature. They didn't, eh? What type of seeds were they? Some of the seeds were split into maybe 8 partial seeds mature. Were they Trachycarpus seeds? Trachycarpus, so they didn't germinate. Is that what you're trying to say? They didn't germinate, not mature. Or, oh, I see. Oh, I see. I know what you mean. That's something to do with poor pollination. They look kind of deformed. I've seen that. Deformed trachy seeds and split into maybe 8 partial. I know that's there's something wrong with that. I know. I've seen that happen before, and those will germinate. Trachy's, okay, Trachycarpus. BH is back. Yeah, they're deformed. Those will never germinate, Sally. Actually, I think I have a video on deformed trachy seed. Let me just find it here. My channel. I have videos of everything. Deformed, I think I called it deformed or partially formed trachy seed. It says I'm live right now. How about that? Okay, deformed palm. I know I have a video of it somewhere. Trachycarpus with deformed root. There we go. I got it. I shot one 5 years ago. Okay, so there's my video, and there's the link to it right there. So tell me if they look like that. There's my video link. We wonder if water had, I don't know. I thought it was something to do with pollination, but if it's pollinated, they should be normal, right? So 100%, I'm not exactly sure what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's to do with water, but yeah, that's a good question. I need to post that video on my group, in my group. You know, are you on Facebook, Sally Sue? Um, let's just see. I'm going to find my group for you. If you're on Facebook, you might want to join my group. There's getting close to 30,000 people in this group now. It's a big palm tree group. Palm tree growers all over the world and exotic plant growers. And there's people out there that can answer your questions. Yeah, so let's just find, there it is, people who love palm trees and exotic plants. I will post the link for you. And then you can see what's going on here. And if you're on Facebook, okay, there it is right there. There's 27,000 members now. That's a lot of people in the group that are palm nuts. So there's the link to my Facebook group that I started about 5 years ago. There we go. There it is right there. So there's the group. Join that group right there. I'm in that group. I started this group. I'm the administrator, one of them. Then I've got other people assigned to admins and moderators because there's just so many people signing up for that group every day, right? So go to that group, and then I'm going to post I'm going to post a video. Where is that thing? I'm going to post a video of this in the group right now. Does anyone know Trachycarpus palm seeds to be deformed? Here, okay, I'm going to put a question mark. Here is a vid I shot 5 years ago. Okay, let's see. Paste. Okay, there it is. Let's find out. Let's see if we get an answer on this. This El Nino is a dud. Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We haven't had any frost here. No frost here yet. Yeah, no, it has been a mild winter for us. It's been really nice. And I can tell you one thing. I've seen past El Ninos where we had a cold snap at the beginning of November. And I go, well, this really sucks. It's an El Nino. And, we get this cold snap and some little bit of snow at the beginning of November. And guess what? The rest of the winter, we had no snow and we had mild temperatures. And I've seen that more than once in an El Nino. So, but anything can happen in an El Nino. And it is amazing that we're going to be getting this cold in an El Nino, because usually we don't see extreme lows like this. You might see -4, -3, but it's going to be pretty cold, man. Yeah, Sunday here, the low is going to be, I'm going on the Southern Gulf Island forecast. Sunday night, it says -8 degrees Celsius for us. -8. So I'm seeing -10, -10, -7, -8, -6. Those are lows, okay? Celsius. Yeah. 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 The funny thing is our pump house is not even insulated. Our pump house has never been insulated, and it's never froze. And so what I do, I put Christmas lights in there, and I have just bubble wrap around the pipes, and then around the big 1,200-gallon water tank. Our pump houses are where our well is. I have a bubble plastic around the tank. I doubt that'll ever freeze. But yeah, I always leave the taps dripping a bit too. That's a good thing to do. I always leave the taps dripping a little bit, and that way things won't freeze. Otherwise, things can freeze up, and it sucks, man, if you have frozen pipes, right? So knock on wood, we've never had frozen pipes here. Thank God. And I've been in this house over 3 decades and never had any frozen pipes, with a low of 16. So, yeah, that's getting down there. 16F is, I don't know, cold. 16F is like -9 or something. Anyway, -10, I'll tell you, -10C is into F. -10C is minus 10C. Minus 10C. Minus 10C to F is 14. Woo! That's cold, man. It said it could get down as low as 14F. You can let the toilet flow by unscrewing. Yeah, you could do that. That's a good thing, but I don't. I just let the tap drip in one of our accommodations. We have accommodation down below B&B, and I just let that drip a little bit. And then up at our tiny house, I'll let that drip and put the lights on. I have some strand of C9 Christmas lights in the pump house. I heat the greenhouse also with Christmas lights. Believe it or not, that's how I heat the greenhouse. I heat it with Christmas lights. I know it sounds crazy. I got a strand of C9 Christmas lights. Each one is 7 watt. There's about 25 bulbs, and I got dual fans going 24/7 in there, and that's how I heat our 8x12 glass and aluminum greenhouse. Everything outside is on its own here. It can work. It works. And the palm nursery is good. We have thousands of palm trees in the nursery. I kick leaves. I got rake leaves around the pots. The tops of the palms are totally exposed. All right. So we'll give you an update. They've been through it before. The cold frames, we have thousands of palms trees in liners. Truckee carpets for tunai in liner size pots. And they are not, there's no artificial heat in there whatsoever. It's just Lexan cold frames. And we'll see how they do. They did good last year. I'm surprised. I thought they would have been frozen dead. It got pretty cold last year and the year before, but no, and they've been out there for years. I've been having cold frames out there for decades. So far, so good. So we'll see how it goes this one. This one, the forecast is looking kind of ugly, but you know what? In the past, I've seen it look just as ugly, and it never gets as cold. They always say this and that, minus 10, minus 12. I've never seen it that cold here. So we'll see what happens. Let me move this. Only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. There. We hope it doesn't get that cold. We don't want anybody's plants to freeze. Our garden is full of palm trees. It'll be interesting to see the ones down in the deep ravine. In our forest, we have thousands of palm trees. And they're going to be in frozen. If it gets that cold, I'm going to go down there and shoot a video of them growing through the ice. They are going to be growing through ice in the creek and the pond, which will be super cool. I'm going to drip all the faucets. Yeah, good for you. Drip the faucets. Don't want any broken frozen pipes because water expands. It's going to crack that PVC pipe when it expands. The worst thing is when it thaws out, eh? Then you got water spraying everywhere. So we're going to keep these taps running. And I think, you know what? Well, we're above freezing right now, but it probably doesn't hurt. Dude, what's our low going to be tonight? I don't think we're going to get below freezing. Let's see what we are tonight. Oh, sorry, wrong page. It says tonight -1 and rain. It's clear out there right now. So that forecast don't look right to me. It's perfectly clear and starry night, and it's about 3 degrees Celsius here. So it says -1 and showers. 40% chance of showers. So right now they're already looking off to me. -1. That's about 31 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. Whatever. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. We'll see how these guys handle it. You know what I mean? They've been through worse. And the tree fern, the fronds will certainly freeze off the tree fern once the temperatures get down just below, 20 degrees. 20 degrees, if it holds that for a few hours, you can kiss the tree fern fronds goodbye. But the tree fern puts out lots of new fronds every spring. So I'm not really worried about that. It puts out, that Dicksoni Antarctica, it puts out about 24 fronds every year. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm going to keep you guys updated. Keep me updated. And let me know how everything does at your place. And I'll make sure to shoot a video. You can tune in here to see the plant videos, the videos. And if you want to see radio videos, you got to go to Jungle Joe C. Video Gates, right? Jungle Joe C. Video Gates is where the video gates happen. Now, this channel has over 20 million hits, and Jungle Joe C. Video Gates has about 7.5 million hits, and the two channels are joined. You know what I mean? So this is actually kind of part of that channel. When I go to this channel, it actually says Jungle Joe C. Video Gates /Banana JSSI. so I can actually comment, reply to comments from Banana JSSI as well. But so if I hear you out there on my other channel and you're on a radio, a lot of people actually do tune into that channel, even if they don't subscribe. It does get a lot of hits. It's got, like I say, 7.5 million views right now, which is pretty good. And there are some plant stuff on there too. Earlier on, and there's some older video gates. There's actually video gates on this. Thanks, Make Mine A99. I appreciate you tuning in. There's actually video gates on this from a long time ago. Some earlier video gates from about probably 12 years ago on this channel. You know, me talking to Europe and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna roll. I think I need some of those Cheerios for dessert. And what I do with the Cheerios, I drizzle some organic honey over top of them, and I put some cinnamon on them, and I have them in almond milk. I like to eat almond or drink almond milk. So I have almond milk, my whole wheat organic Cheerios with some honey and cinnamon. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I know it's getting late where some of you guys are, except Make Mine A99. You're on the same time zone as here where we are in the Gulf Islands. We're Pacific Coast. And see you later, BH. And Make Mine A99 and Sally Sue and Indiana Chris and everybody else out there that joined in this video gate. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that joined in the video. Gem State Tropics, he's gone now. Steven's a good guy. And I sure hope his palms arrive safely to him. I hope they're not frozen. I think they're going to. It just sucks if you got palms coming in from South Carolina in the coldest days of the year. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Palm trees in the ground here are fully hardy. But in the pots, they're way less cold hardy. A palm tree in a pot, a hardy palm tree, I'm talking about cold tolerant. A cold tolerant palm tree is far less cold tolerant in a pot than it is in the ground. Because if the roots freeze solid, you can kiss your palmsicle. You can kiss your palmsicle goodbye. You know what I mean? And I know that for a fact because I've lost many in pots at my last location, and it was not a pretty sight. All right, guys. Cheers and 73s. And that's Radio Talk for my radio friends out there. We'll see you all next. Live gate or live stream tomorrow. If I'm off island, I'll shoot a video of some palms in Victoria. And if I'm here, I'll shoot those here too. And then I got a doctor's appointment, and then I'll be back and hopefully live gating it. Have a good one, guys. Have a good night. Cheers to you.